Since 1982, J. Paul's Terrace Cafe has proudly served the Oceanside community for 42 years. Open daily from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m., catch live music on the weekends, or place a bet on their OTB betting machines to wager on horse races. And we didn't even get to the menu. Every dish is a touchdown. From the popular steak tidbits to wings and a chicken parm, you can't go wrong. Great for lunch with friends and dinner with the family. Located at 239 Merrick Road, just minutes away from the Meadowbrook Parkway, reserve your table today at 516-536-1806.
It is Friday night's Lights Oceanside edition, and the Dalers, they have marched into town right down Skillman Avenue for one of the most anticipated Nassau Conference 1 showdowns of the year. It is the top-seeded preseason Dalers, number 3, Oceanside. It's a blackout here at Oceanside High School. I want to thank our sponsor for today's game, and that is J. Paul's Terrace Cafe right here, 239 Merrick Road, Oceanside. Get all of your game day eats right there at J. Paul's. Well, a pleasant good evening, everyone. Dylan Butler alongside Kevin Dolan. And Kevin, it's still warm outside, but this is one of those games where it has that feel of a little bit more. It's Oceanside's first home game, but also it's a pivotal game in Nassau Conference 1 already in week 2. It's the number 1 seed against the number 3 seed. When power points get involved, a lot hinges on this game.
I'll tell you, Dylan, not only is it a pleasure to be on this with you and Varsity Media, but this is a Conference 1 bombshell tonight. Now, there's going to be others, but this is the one this weekend. And this game, you know, what does it mean going forward? Probably not a lot. 2 top teams, they're going to win a lot of games down the road, but they're going to mark their territory tonight. And this is for bragging rights. Early, so exciting, and what a gorgeous night for football.
Yeah, beautiful night. A huge crowd here as well at Oceanside, and they bring out all the pomp and circumstance. Kev, you've got the band, the cheerleaders, the dance team, the 309 down to our left, packed. It's a blackout here at Oceanside High School. And there you see some of the student fans here. It is called the 309 because that's how many seats you could fit there. They might be cramming a few more in tonight. Might have to call it the 375.
I'll tell you, Dylan, I've coached at some great football schools. Limbrook, New Hyde Park, Chaminade High School. I have not seen a home team turnout like this ever. You feel like you're at a mid-sized college game.
Yeah, and a huge credit goes to Oceanside head coach Rob Blount for building this culture here at Oceanside during his time as head coach, and it is the place to be on a Friday night. There is no question about that.
And I think even more importantly, like we've been here a while now watching these kids. They're all fighting for their space. 309 gets clogged up pretty fast. Their behavior, their attitude, they've been outstanding, these kids. They're here to watch some great football and have some fun with each other.
Speaking about great football, when you look at the visitors on your scoreboard, first to take a look at the refs for tonight's contest. Farmingdale, a team, Kevin, they've been knocking on the door these last couple of years. You go back 2 years ago when a lot of these guys who are playing key roles, they were sophomores, right? They were younger bucks. Maybe some of them weren't even on the varsity team on that year, but that's a team that had heartbreak at Hofstra, losing on a last-second kick in the semifinals to Syosset. Fast forward to last year. Those guys are older, and a lot of those guys are back from last year's team. They went all the way back to Hofstra, took a step further, and had a devastating defeat to rival Massapequa in overtime. So for a lot of these guys, Kevin, that's kind of where this season starts for them. It's that feeling of defeat, that feeling of we need to change things for the next year.
You know, what's going on right now at Oceanside, what they're building right now, that foundational community football, that's been going on at Farmingdale for 60 years. It's a legacy program. They don't think in terms of seasons. They think in terms of the next 10 seasons. And I think we're going to see a very, very powerful team. At the same time, I think they're going to be challenged by an incredibly athletic and creative Oceanside Sailors bunch.
It is if styles make fights, this is one of those occasions where it's going to be two contrasting styles, at least offensively, where the Dalers, they want to ground and pound. They want to play old school Buddy Krummenacher football. They've got 4 returning offensive linemen who started a year ago, all some big dudes there as well. And they've also got arguably the best player in Nassau County, or certainly the best running back as well, in Josh Kama. And we will show you now our players to watch here for Farmingdale. On the left, it is Josh Kama. On the right, Mateo Morales. They will both play both ways. They will both play a large role, Kevin, on both sides of the football. Those numbers for Kama, by the way, that was just in week 1.
That's incredible numbers. And Josh, you know, again, we talk about a legacy program. Josh just keeps rolling it down from some of the great backs that they've had. And Morales, he's a menace. This guy is a menace. You have to account for him. You cannot, it's hard to run away from him, which is sometimes what offenses will do. He's going to track you down.
What we didn't include in that graphic for Kama, in that week 1 51-28 win over Syosset, he also had a 60-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. He also punts the ball. He may have driven that yellow bus across the way from Farmingdale here to Oceanside. He is that guy for the Dalers.
Coach Krummenacher has got to call timeout to get him a drink of water.
And those stands on the opposite side, not yet filled, but we expect them to be filled here. A lot of traffic on a Friday night.
Yeah, and Oceanside's not an easy place to get to when you got a lot of traffic out there. So that bleach is going to fill up as well. This is going to be one dynamic night of football.
Hey, it was for me. I was on Ocean Parkway. I had the Boys of Fall going. Beautiful night for football as you see some of the activity on the sidelines. So we mentioned Farmingdale, preseason #1 seed. Now let's take a look at Oceanside as their band now makes their way onto the field. They too are 1-0. Strangely enough, they also scored 51. Run. Oceanside has always been that dynamic offense, right? A lot of different players, a lot of different plays, a lot of different trickery by Rob Blount, which makes things a lot of fun out here.
You know, Coach Blount, what I think makes him special is his what he believes in is making the defenses uncomfortable. This is something you didn't see. This is something that's a little bit different. Now on defense, if you're thinking more than 2 seconds, you become a target, and you become a real, and you're in trouble. And you're going to see Oceanside really not only run big plays, not going to be a lot of time between snaps.
That was one of the parts of our conversation, right, with Colin Jones, the Dalers offensive coordinator. A lot of long practices over there in Don Snyder Stadium this week to prepare for all the different things that an Oceanside team can throw at you, as you see the Sailors making their way onto the field here at Oceanside.
But you know what? The Dalers, and it's Coach Krummenacher's mentality, this is what we are. We're going to come out, we're going to stay balanced, we're going to cover everybody. You do what you do, and we'll see you at the end of the game.
So Oceanside 1-0 on the season. Their plan, you know, they lost to Massapequa as well last year in the semifinals. They want to get back to the Conference 1 championship. It's been a couple of years since they played in that game. Last time they won in that game was back in 2017. Two guys that Oceanside will lean on here today. Hey, let's speak about leaning on. Let's get the big fellas some love, right?
Oh, yeah.
On the left side, probably the best football player, not just lineman, football player on this Oceanside team. That's Andrew Guide. You see is committed to Cortland. And on the right side, Michael Lucas playing that nose tackle position in that three-man front.
Yeah, you know, you rely on those linemen. You know what? If Oceanside throws the ball, they need to give this quarterback plenty of time back there to make his reads and to execute. And those guys are the ones that make it happen.
On the weekends, or place a bet on their OTB betting machines to wager on horse races. And we didn't even get to the menu. Every dish is a touchdown. From the popular steak tidbits to wings and a chicken parm, you can't go wrong. Great for lunch with friends and dinner with the family. Located at 239 Merrick Road, just minutes away from the Meadowbrook Parkway, reserve your table today at 516-536-1806. Hey parents, coaches, and players. Ever wonder what makes Varsity Media stand out as the tri-state leader in sports live streaming and videography?
If you're looking to optimize your sporting event, look no further than Varsity Media's coverage. Since working with them over the course of the past 4 years through the Elite 5 New York City Football Showcase, their coverage has helped take us to the top.
Varsity Media does an unbelievable job in terms of the broadcast, backgrounds on kids, do a great job of exposure from top to bottom. I couldn't really say anything negative. It's been a great couple of years that we've been working together, and it's just fantastic.
Well, I'll tell you, the fact that you guys are here has helped grow it, really. I mean, Varsity Media has been a good partner with us now for the last couple of years. That brings this game to a much broader audience.
The level of detail and that you go to, I mean, obviously the announcers, the camera angles, the slow motions, I mean, you feel like it's being covered by, ESPN.
If you'd like to book with Varsity Media, reach out at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Back here at a packed house at Oceanside High School, Dylan Butler, Kevin Dolan, our entire Varsity Media crew, as the Dalers and the Sailors get set to go here today. And you see there the legendary head coach of Farmingdale, Buddy Krummenacher, his 32nd season here. Former captain of that 1964 team. Just usually the conversation begins and ends when you talk Nassau County football legends with Buddy Krummenacher.
Not only when I was a kid coming up in this business, but as I got older, we called him the Charles Schwab of coaching. When Buddy spoke, everybody listened. And he is never over the top. He doesn't boast about himself, but everything that comes out of him is gold in terms of coaching, and more importantly, about educating kids and making them gentlemen.
Matt Gentili is his defensive coordinator. Colin Jones is his offensive coordinator. And the head coach of Oceanside, there you see him, Rob Blount. He's getting ready, looking like he's back in his game day shape, playing for Lawrence back in 2001. 17 years at the helm, and what he has done for this program, for this community, is outstanding. He has been a huge part of making these stands full and making Friday night an event here at Oceanside.
What I love about Rob is it's not just in his mentality and his emotions, but in his scheme. He always gives his kids a chance. This man always thinks he could be playing the New York Giants out here, and he feels that they can win that game. And the kids believe it. And
have you seen the Giants this year? They might have a good chance.
Oh, that hurts, Dylan.
I'm with you.
And you know what? If kids believe it, that's often enough.
Defensive coordinator for Oceanside, Brian Ellis. Rob Blount calls the offense. As you see the captains for both teams, final handshake. Kevin, we spoke with the coaches for both of these teams Let's take a look now at the keys to this game for both the Dalers and the Sailors.
Farmingdale cannot allow any big plays on special teams. You don't account for that. You need to establish consistency. Of course, their run game, that's been going on for 60 years. And the last thing is, Oceanside's going to take shots. They're not going to take shots. They're going to take 15 shots that are big. Farmingdale needs to stop that. On the other side of the ball, Oceanside, if you get a turnover, you've got to score, even if it's a field goal. Explosive plays, comma is going to hurt you. Don't let them hurt you big. And last but not least, execute, 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 and push, push, push on offense. Keep the pressure on the green guys.
And that's one thing that Blount thought his team could do that maybe most can't do, is put pressure on Farmingdale. As you see the great view there from the sideline, and you mentioned the weather. A little bit warm for a high school football game, but just gorgeous weather here. You see 85 degrees. Hey, Mike Hungerford might be liking those weather conditions out in San Diego.
Oh, yeah.
The visibility as well, 9 miles.
This is San Diego weather.
Pretty much, pretty much.
And you know what? That sun's dropping right now. It's actually going to get very comfortable. Kids need to keep on hydrating. I think it's just going to be a beautiful, beautiful night for football.
So the Dalers will kick off. In doing so, J.J. Damo, a guy that we know well, certainly from the lacrosse season. Damo, both teams really good kickers. Damo does an excellent job, and there might not be a better one in the state than Ryan Pender for Oceanside.
Guys that are coming out for football, you know, oftentimes they're getting committed in the 3rd grade to wherever the heck they're. Outstanding. Outstanding.
Here we go, opening kickoff. It's a short one. Fair catch is called. And it will be the Sailors stepping on the field, leading their way. Number 11, Shane Harmon, the senior signal caller. There's been some really good quarterbacks over the days, over the years, and Harmon has been groomed for this year.
6th grader playing for the youth league in this neighborhood. And you know what? I don't know. I'm not rooting for either team, but I hope he has the night that he's looking for.
One of the things that Rob Blount likes about Shane Harmon, Sailors will start off at their own 28-yard line. See trips right. At their own 28-yard line. See trips right. Fake handoff, first pass, fake handoff, first pass is completed out to the 40-yard line. That was Luke Miller with the reception. Let's take a look at the offense for Oceanside. Joining Harmon, you've got Morris.
And beautiful, beautiful play.
Handoff on first down. It's Chase Morris for a short gain. Let's meet the starting defense for the Dalers. It's a 3-man front. You've got Waltrus in the secondary. You've got Vido and McClune at the corners, and Mills and Squitieri at safeties.
This is a big, ferocious defensive line, and this Oceanside O-line is doing one heck of a job.
Harmon ducked out of the first bit of pressure, which came from Kama, but then he was tackled after ducking out. Morales credited with the tackle, and now it's a 3rd and 6 for Oceanside.
Great stunt.
Tight end, as Blount checks his play chart, which is numerous. And already Blount wants to talk things over. Timeout for Oceanside.
A great call by Rob. I mean, this is an excellent first series by Oceanside. The offensive line, I don't know what I was expecting, but I did not expect them to come out like this and play so dominantly on this first drive. Rob Blount is in potential 2-down territory right now. Use the timeout, get the play you want. Let's see if we can get on the board.
This the 41st all-time meeting between Farmingdale and Oceanside. The Dalers lead that series 30-10, and that includes last year's absolute barn burner, Kevin. You go back to week 6, late October, it was Farmingdale 63-42 over Oceanside. It was Kama rushing for 376 and 7 touchdowns on 21 carries. Mark matched Jordan McClune for the school record for rushing touchdowns in a single game. His runs, by the way, 13, 35, 59, 5, 54, 84, and 70.
That's the definition of chunk plays.
So off the timeout. 3rd and 8. Handoff, spinning, turning, and really nowhere to go there for Morris. Good looking tackle by Michael Bolello. Bolello, Kevin's a guy who during the lacrosse season attached himself to Michael Galgano's hip just to learn a little more, and that's what he's doing on the offensive line, or excuse me, defensively, or when he plays on the offense, excuse me, with Jake Kunz as well. So 4th and 8 for Oceanside. And it will be Harmon who just punts it away, trying to play the field position game. And were they able to stop the ball at the 1?
No.
They were not. It'll be a touchback. So at the start of the season, Kevin, the idea was that Michael Galgano would have been the quarterback. They play a 4-way scrimmage, breaks his collarbone, unfortunately, so now it's the next man up situation. That next man is a sophomore, Nick Toto. Good size, lefty. We liked what we saw from him in pregame warmups.
Yeah, you know what? I didn't realize he was a lefty until I got out here, which is, interestingly enough, it is a plus. He's a big kid. Very, very big kid, and he's excited. He's got lots of skills, and you know what? With Mr. Kama in the backfield, it allows Coach Krumenaka to keep Nick in manageable situations.
Yeah, the QB coach, Peter Nazario, said he's the most talented sophomore quarterback that he has seen in his time coaching at Farmingdale. 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. He does, in fact, throw on 1st down. It's an out for a gain of about 6 or so. Let's take a look at the starting offense now for Oceanside, for Farmingdale. Joining Toto, it's Kama, Theodate, Watrous, Mastrelli, and Morales up front. It doesn't get much bigger or more experienced in this Farmingdale offensive line, led by Jack McCarthy at left tackle, 6'2", 270, next to Jordan Petzold. At center, it's Jake Kunz, Aiden Thomas. They're all returning starters. Run by Mateo Morales.
I mean, they have to. You have to stop Josh Kama in this run game. But Farmingdale, interesting 2 plays they ran. Jet sweep, which you just saw now, which gets away from all the defensive pressure, and a nice easy pass for Mr. Toto to start the game out to the flats.
So 1st and 10 at the Oceanside 45. You saw there in motion, it was Vidot. He's a guy who can take the top off that Oceanside defense. Number 7 in white. Now Morales was in motion. Toto, good protection from Kama.
Ooh.
Nice out, and there is Vidot. Evades a couple of tacklers, breaks a few more, spins inside the 20. Terrific catch by the junior, who is probably Farmingdale's best wide receiver.
What a beautiful ball by Nick. That was a very, very tight window for it's hard to appreciate it sometimes at home on TV. Gutsy. It's hard to appreciate it sometimes at home on TV. Gutsy pass by a 10th grader.
And here comes Kama coming this way into the end zone. Touchdown, Farmingdale. Untouched goes Kama for his 5th rushing touchdown of the year.
There you go. You see Mr. James Queen. You know, there's something to say about experience, but there's a lot more to say about hunger. That is a beautiful down block by James. Welcome. You know what? And this is why this young man's starting tonight.
Jake Kunz is your long snapper. Cam Mastrelli to hold for J.J. Damo. The kick is up, and it is good. So on their first series, Kevin, Farmingdale finds the end zone with Josh Kama leading them there. There's been a lot of really good running backs over the years. And we'll show you, at least these are the last 15 years. So if you're an old school Farmingdale guy, don't yell at us. This is recent history. But you see some of the terrific names. Kama may be the best of the bunch.
Yes, I mean, like you said, these are incredible players you're seeing up here. But we need this screen to go about 3 more yards to the left in order to cover the 60, 70 years of great running backs at Farmingdale football. And Josh is the next generation. And boy, that was a beautiful run that he just made.
You know, we asked both coaching staffs, right, what makes Kama so special? And it's not a simple answer, is it, Kevin? This worker, he loves everything about football. The weight room, the workouts, practice day. A lot of times for other players, that's laborious, right? Not for Josh Kama. Loves every bit of it, loves blocking as well. He doesn't just have to score the football. And listen, he's improved his skills on the defensive side of the ball as well as a terrific middle linebacker.
And all those things you're talking about, the time in the weight room, the work, wins the friendship of these kids on the team. It's the loyalty. People that want to block for him, they want to cheer for him.
So solid return there for Oceanside as the Sailors, Dylan Parker had the return as Oceanside's second series will start at their own 36-yard line.
Well, I know it's 7-0, Dylan, but that was a great drive by Oceanside. I think there might be a play or two that Coach Blount may have wanted to take back. I mean, that's true for all of us who call offensive plays. That's not a critique of Rob. I think they need to just stick this course. I'm predicting this is going to be a big night of scoring for Oceanside as well.
And at some point, and usually doing an Oceanside game, it comes early, but there's going to be some trickery at some point. Not much there on that first down.
Oftentimes it's a give. He'll give it to the running back. You have to run that play to establish that play if you're going to get to the other things we're talking about.
It'll be a gain of 1 for Oceanside at the bottom of your screen. When we get to camera 1, as Harmon checks to Blount on the sideline. Handoff goes to that far sideline. There goes Chase Morris up the left sideline. It's a foot race, a terrific tackle, a touchdown saving tackle.
Well, this is what I'm talking about, Dylan. You're going to see, look at that offensive line. A single unit, a single living unit, and a great running back who knows how to find that seam and crack it.
How about Aiden Squitieri there, catching up and making that tackle?
Well, you're never going to see one of these guys in green giving up, that's for sure.
So that run goes to the Farmingdale 11. Fake handoff, Harmon. Hands of Jason Halpern.
They're going to come back to that one. You know Coach Blount is checking that off on his list, and they'll be coming to that play soon enough.
It's one thing you get out of Oceanside too, right? A lot of slants. And
yeah. Well, they got these lacrosse guys out here. They're outstanding athletes. Quick, they know how to change speeds. Very shifty.
Handoff. It's Morris for a short gain. And a guy for a big play.
And you brought it up earlier, Dylan. You know, you have so much respect for, there's a lot of kids out here like Jake Stern who have coming back from injuries. Just arrived. And I'll tell you what, when you...
Pender is by far the best that they've had. He's a kid who's also the starting catcher for the baseball team, was pulled up as a freshman. The original plan for Pender was you're going to play wide receiver. And Blount and his staff saw him kick some football and said, we have a change of plan here, Ryan. We want you to kick the football, and he's done it better than most.
And you know, a lot of these neighborhoods on Long Island, Dylan, they're big soccer communities. And what happens is some of these boys, they get older, they get a little bigger. Maybe they're not run the way you need to in certain soccer situations. And they go, you know what, let me give football a try.
Great response from Oceanside off of that comma touchdown. They use that trick, and now this is the part of Pender's game that the Farmingdale staff talked about. You've got to be wary because, as Blount said, he's a great golfer. He'll get that lob wedge going, and he can place that ball wherever he wants it. So or put it out of the end zone. So you've got to be wary if you're Farmingdale.
You know, and that's the key. If you're playing against me, I'm telling him to kick it to Mars. But you got a guy like Rob Blount. He's always trying to give his kids that special edge and that special chance.
Well, Blount's down at the 25-yard line right now. I think he wants that football maybe somewhere between maybe around the 15-yard line or so. To your point, though, this is going end zone. No return. And actually, it is Vidot returning. Surprised there was an actual return there. It was in the end zone, which should have been a touchback.
I think the official is saying, Dylan, that the ball did not cross the goal line. It's the officials like this. They're man enough and appropriate enough to say, you know what, we made a mistake on that one. And let's fix it, and now we move on. That's all you want, is to do it right.
You've got twin receivers at the bottom of your screen. It's Morales. Out there is Sean Schumeyer.
Exciting. They're reading linebackers, they're reading secondary reads, and it's early in the season. I mean, that's not easy football to run, especially when you're playing offense every other day.
In week one, Toto had a couple of carries for 15 yards. Obviously a stronger test here at Oceanside. So they'll give him a gain of 3. It'll be a 2nd and 7 from the Farmingdale 23-yard line. That's comma in motion. The handoff up the middle and nothing doing. And there's that front for Oceanside. Right up the middle. Michael Lucas, 53, at the heart of that defense.
Well, this is the perfect time now for that play action pass, and
maybe more appropriately, Brian Ellis, the DC. This is the kind of down and distance you want,
yes,
right? From a team that is so apt at running the football. You want a 3rd and 7.
They're taking the pressure off of Josh, and now they're putting it back on Nick Toto. And that's exactly what Oceanside wants to do. Nick's a hell of a player, but he is a 10th grader.
That's Vidot.
Out there, but he is a 10th grader.
That's Vidot at the bottom of your screen. Here's Toto taking it himself. He's got comma of your screen. Here's Toto taking it himself. He's got comma at, and that's a late hit, and that's a mistake for Oceanside. It was Toto angling his run. He did get a 1st down in the play. It'll be a personal foul against the Sailors.
You know, and I want to correct anybody that's watching this at home. That's not a dirty play. That's not anything else. These kids are jacked up right now. They're jacked up, and they're excited, and they want to play football, and they all want to win. They need to calm down just a touch and remember down, distance, location, because mistakes like that, you're not going to win this game that way.
That late hit.
Calm down just a touch and remember down, distance, location, because mistakes like that, you're not going to win this game that way.
That late hit will bring the ball out to the 50-yard line for, as you see, the Dalers. Doesn't get much more traditional, right, than that Kelly green and white. Here comes Kama. Kama, explosion, terrific tackle at the legs. Ends up being a gain of about 1. Really high-level tackling there.
Seeing a lot of penetration by Oceanside right here. You know, I'd like to point one person out, but there's 3 or 4 kids in the backfield. It's hard to establish a run game when your defense is in the backfield.
And it was Didio who came low. A guy who was hurt a year ago. Dad John used to run the Oceanside Stallions. So gain of 1 for Kama. Ball at the 49-yard line. Ball at the 49-yard line. miscommunication perhaps, and Toto wrapped up from behind.
Well, Oceanside's got Farmingdale back in the situation that they want. Look at this great tackle from behind. Ball, beautiful tackle.
Yeah, Halpern in on the tackle.
Boy, is he quick, and what range Halpern has.
Yeah, Halpern, that Swiss Army knife, tight end, fullback, outside linebacker. Older brother Blake, part of that offensive line the last couple of years at right tackle. He is the youngest coming out of a whole football house.
Well, last 3rd and long, we saw an RPO, and Nick Toto got a beautiful run, tagged with a flag at the end. Let's see what they give us here.
That's Morales in motion. Toto rolls to his left. Pressure is coming, and he's got to get rid of that ball. Great job defensively, and you see the pressure coming from Antonio Contrino.
Beautiful job by Antonio, pressing that ball back. You know what? He didn't do too much. He didn't allow, Nick is fast, and he didn't allow Nick any opportunities to turn the corner and take that down the sideline.
So Kama to punt for Farmingdale. And if you are the opposing team, you've always got to be wary, right, of a fake with a guy like Kama punting the football. Chase Beer to return for Oceanside. And a terrific punt by Kama. It is fair, caught at the 10. Yes, Josh Kama, Kevin, can do it all.
Yes, he can, and what, I mean, he is just so strong. That's the weight room right there. And you know what? I want to point out that catch on that, fair catch on that punt return. It's a tough night to catch that ball. You've got shade, you've got intense sun. Really, really beautiful job.
So a long field now for Shane Harmon and the Sailors. They've got to go 90 yards or 89 yards to the house here with 1:07 left in the first quarter. Dylan Butler, Kevin Dolan, our entire Varsity Media crew is so thankful you're able to join us here on a Friday night in Oceanside. It is Friday Night Lights.
That was Chase Beer, by the way, who made that catch, and just a beautiful, beautiful job. What a punt by Josh.
So Harmon, he's got plenty of options, tucks it under himself, runs to the left side, and that's a quality tackle there as well. I think that was Vidot who made the tackle for Farmingdale.
Patrick comes up, hardest.
So no gain of 1 on first down as 35 seconds, so this is most likely the final play here of the first quarter. Empty backfield for Harmon. He's got trips right. And again, Harmon tucks it under, goes up the middle. Terrific run by Shane Harmon. Looks like he's just shy of the first down marker, or did he move the chains?
I think he's going to be a little bit short.
And they will run. Looks like he's just shy of the first down marker, or did he move the chains?
I think he's going to be a little bit short.
And they will run this clock for the final few seconds, and it winds down here. So the first quarter.
Coaches are flooded with highlights, exactly what college recruiters want to see. With our up-close ISO video, we capture your athletes' key moments. No more wide angles showing other players. This is just your athlete's pure, raw talent. This is more than a video. This is the opportunity your athlete deserves. Give your athlete the edge they need. Make the right impression with Varsity Media's ISO video service. The future starts now.
For the latest news in high school sports, be sure to check out varsitymedia.net or follow us on social media.
And there's a good look, Kevin, at one of the best student sections on Long Island. 309 packed here tonight. It's a blackout here at Oceanside. Great look at the student section here.
You couldn't slip a dime between those kids right there. Look how tight that is packed. Oh my goodness. And they are having a ball. And once again, Dylan, the behavior of these kids is exemplary. Great job. School spirit.
7-7 after one quarter. We saw the trickery that we expected from Oceanside. We saw Josh Kama finding the end zone as we expected for Farmingdale. And a little wildcat action Chase Morris doing. So we'll see a couple of varieties of that tonight, Kevin, out of Oceanside.
Well, you know what helps them, and you just saw it on that play. Beautiful pull block by Andrew Gaida. Big kids that can block and run.
Same thing for play number 2 as Morris tries to get himself towards the Oceanside sideline. Gets himself out to about the 29.
Interesting play calling by Coach Blount. I'll tell you what, he's not in a hurry right now. He's sticking to that run game. He's running the ball. The offensive line has come to play. He's decided to jump on their backs.
And you've seen this in the past.
I really like this.
Sorry, Kevin. You've seen this in the past, too, as well. He'll go a whole series wildcat as he does it again. Good cut inside, bouncing forward towards the sideline. And a big run for a first down by Chase Morris. 2-year starter is Chase Morris. He's a 3-time All-County wrestler as well, which is just a testament to his toughness. We saw there, tough to tackle, Kevin.
There's nothing tougher than those wrestlers spending 3 months underground, rolling around and fighting hard. That's the guy you want carrying your football.
So job well done. Harmon back in at shotgun as the Sailors, because we move the chains, going over the top. That's a jump ball. Vido. That's an incompleted pass. That was a great battle between Vido defensively and DiDio for Oceanside.
Very close to an interception right there. Just a really dynamic play. Best thing our receiver did right there was just interfere with Patrick, because that was going the other way.
Well, that's what helps when you got guys going both ways. He suddenly quickly turned into a defensive back to make sure that Vido, who on the other side plays wide receiver, didn't get the INT.
A lot of empty sets here. For those of you at home, empty sets means there's no running backs. You've got 3 receivers out to one side, 2 receivers out to the other. Now, you would think that's a passing set only. But when you have a kid like Chase Harmon and this offensive line, you have a real run threat. There's your empty set again.
Harmon goes over the middle. He's got a receiver. That is complete. Touchdown for Oceanside. Give it to Double Deuce. Jacob Stern, his second touchdown reception of the first half.
Mr. Injury, Mr. Comeback, here we go. Look at this pass set. He could eat a sandwich back here. Great play. You know what? Like I said, I'm not rooting for either team, but I am so happy for kids like this coming back after injuries, having a big night here in a huge game.
A year ago, Jacob Stern, before week 0, dislocated his shoulder, stayed in, wanted to play, ultimately had to get shut down. It kept popping in and out, as you see Bay Alexander.
He is hanging on. They're giving up their part-time jobs. They're putting on the line some of their commitments for other sports to play with their friends, play for their school. You gotta love this stuff tonight. High school football. There really isn't anything else like it.
So on a pair of touchdown receptions from Jacob Stern, the 5'8", 160-pound senior. Oceanside's got the 14-7 lead here, early stages of quarter. At some point, we're going to see Pender drop a ball somewhere.
Yes. You know what? I don't know. I will never guess what Coach Blount is going to do, because he's going to surprise you every time, and that's the beauty of his coaching style and his toughness. I'm holding my breath now. I would sit on this 14-7 and kick this thing to Mars, but who knows what's going to happen.
Well, one thing is certain. You want to try to avoid the numbers 2-1 for Farmingdale if you kick the ball off.
Oh, yeah. And I will say,
so
in terms of your onside kicks, you do have a lot of big bodies here for Farmingdale up in the front. Not sure that all of them are natural ball handlers.
And you've got game. It's Kama and Vidot to return. And there's Pender, a line drive kick fielded at about the 8-yard line by Vidot. Comes this way. That's a nice looking tackle. Special teams always so important.
Great open field tackle, but a great play by Patrick. I mean, that knuckleball is not easy to handle. Gets them just over the 20-yard line. It's a good spot for Farmingdale.
So the Gailers will start at their own 21-yard line. There for a series of quarter number 2. Josh Kama got things started with that 20-yard touchdown run in the first quarter. Jacob Stern has responded with a pay downs for Oceanside.
Very heavy set out here for Farmingdale. You got a lot of big bodies lined up on the ball. Tight end look, fullback. I think it's going to be Josh.
Barrels forward. He's finally taken down at the 40-yard line. 19-yard carry for the uncommitted senior. And the Dalers, Kevin, they're going to go quick.
Yeah.
Another handoff. It's Kama again. Breaks a tackle. Josh Kama. End zone. Touchdown. Farmingdale. Another in what is a career's worth of big plays from 2-1 in Kelly Green and White.
Look at this, and look at, who do we have here? Jack McCarthy pulling around, getting his big body in the hole, and Josh Kama is gone. We've got a number of guys pancake blocked up front. I can hear Coach Krumenacker in my headset right now. Hey, what are we doing messing around? Give the ball to Josh.
Here comes Damos. Point after attempt. Mastrelli to hold. And that kick is up. And it is good. And listen, when you talk about that offensive line for Farmingdale, we'll show you the size. But you're right, it does start with McCarthy. And what you've got on the left side, at left tackle and at left guard, you've got McCarthy and Jordan Petzold. And there you see their sizes, right? McCarthy, 6'2", 270. Petzold, 6'1", 285. Both guys have aspirations of playing offensive line in college. And then you've got Kunz at center, 6'1", 220. That's smartest guy on the offense, makes all the calls. Aiden Thomas at right guard. He's the guy who wants to get after you. He wants to put you into the turf. And James Queen, a guy who's been on varsity since sophomore. But all 5 of those guys can pull.
When you have offensive linemen that are saying, this is what I didn't become an offensive lineman because we needed them. They're saying, this is what I want to be, and I want to be great at it. You're in a perfect situation. And with this size, these kids are giants out here.
Yeah, McCarthy, 6'2", 270. Oftentimes kind of a man amongst boys out there with that size. Went to a lot of college camps, and a guy who, again, wants to play that next level, has fine-tuned his game, uses a lot of technique that college players are using as well, and also worked in the mental aspect of his game, did Jack McCarthy.
Which is a big part of it. I mean, people who don't know the offensive line, so much of it, there's nuances to it, and so much of it is mental. And these kids, that was 2 beautiful plays in a row. And they caught Oceanside napping on that second run.
14-14 is your score. Short kick, and another fair catch is called. It's a good field position for Shane Harmon and the Sailors as they come onto the field for their next drive. And what's fun too about this matchup, among the other things, Kevin, is Oceanside is a team, maybe they don't bring the exact same measurements size-wise, right, as a Petzold and a McCarthy, but you've got some physical dudes up front, right, led by Guida, 6'2", 250, who will play college football at Cortland.
Yep, it's a little bit of David and Goliath in the sense, not that they're small, but they're quick, they're athletic, they run. On the other side, you've got these behemoths that want to get great surfaces and drive. What a matchup tonight.
So empty backfield for Harmon, as you mentioned, those 5 receivers. It'll be trips left, and those twin receivers at the top of your screen. Harmon takes it himself, runs up the middle, finds a great hole, angles himself to the right, pauses and gets hit hard at the 45, but that's more than enough to move the chains for Oceanside.
And if you look at this play right here, what Chase is doing, he's looking for Josh Kama. Josh Kama bails in order to help out with the receiver over there on the left. He knows he's got a light box and he can run. It's quarterback. It's RPO football without the pass affect to it, and really beautifully run. That's technical football. That's big boy football right there.
Tackle by number 9 there, Ive Mills, number 9. As here comes Harmon again, runs it up the middle. Like 74, Jack McCarthy in on the tackle. We send our thoughts and our well wishes to Wilson Quintanilla, who was a couple of years a starting nose tackle at Farmingdale, suffered an unfortunate injury last week, was in the hospital. We again wish him the best, speedy recovery for Wilson Quintanilla, but what a huge hole that is having to be filled with his absence at nose tackle.
And as much as I'd love to see him out here, the blessings really are is that he's going to be okay. And you just hate when the kids get hurt, you know, and our prayers are with them.
Harmon with that attempt to the Dio, incomplete. So a 3rd and 7 for Oceanside from their own 47-yard line. 9:18 left here in an entertaining first half.
Well, Oceanside has gone vertical quite a bit in these situations. Let's see if they do just that.
Harmon checks over the middle, went to try to go the same way to the Dio, a little bit not on that same wavelength. And this sets up a 4th and 7. Now where you are field position-wise, you could certainly go for it if you're Oceanside, but also you've got game now, Kevin, as well.
Well, you know, and what you're seeing here, too, is you're seeing kids like Mistrelli is now getting used to those slant routes. He's getting hands-on. He's flattening the routes.
So Harmon will be the one to punt things off. Nobody deep. And look at this one.
Talk about blessings. That's a heck of a bounce.
It'll be downed by Karenz deep. And that's what we said, Kevin, right? Play the field position game a little bit. As it'll be Farmingdale to take a step on the field. Their last 3 years, listen, 2 years ago or 3 years ago, they were top of the mountain, right? An unbelievable, well, this is actually Oceanside's last 3 years. But you see back 2022, reached the county finals. They lost in that one, and back-to-back years losing in the Conference 1 semifinals. So it's not just about getting the Hofstra for Rob Lowndes, guys. It's now about winning your second Conference 1 championship.
Well, we're backed up here a little bit, but again, I'm hearing Coach Krumenacker in my headset. My instincts tell me we're going to see Mr. Kama hold this ball with a counterplay led by those guys on the left side.
Did Chris give you a different headset than me? Because I don't hear Buddy in my ears. But, by the way, they're looking for their 3rd Oceanside, 3rd championship. They won in 2017, beating Freeport, and then if you go back to 1977 when they beat Plain Edge. Handoff on first down. And there is that power running that Kama brings. And that's, again, I think, you talk about total package with a guy like Josh Kama, right? Where it is speed, it is physicality, it is vision as well.
Yeah, he is, you know, it looks like he's just a bruising running back. Like when you're watching this on television, that he's just a bruising running back that lowers his pads and is going to muscle his way through. It's not the case. He knows how to change speeds. He knows how to plant that foot. I'm a little concerned at who is down on the turf right now.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a moment. But here you see the last 3 years for the Yellers. Again, 3 years ago, 2022, right? Tommaso Ramos and those guys leading the way. 12-0, perfect season. Another Long Island championship for Buddy and the boys, right? Their second LIC and their 17th Nassau County title. And since they've gotten to Hofstra, devastating defeats to Syosset 2 years ago on a last-second field goal by Sean Dillon and Syosset. And then last year, that trickery play, right? That Massapequa threw at him. The miracle in Massapequa. 9-2 year for the Dalers, but they are this season the preseason #1. And Rob Blount, in our conversation, Kevin, with him leading up to this game, said the Dalers, they are the most complete team in Conference 1 this year.
Yes, and you know what? We're going back to your Hofstra point. When you get to Hofstra, it's a whole new season. All bets are off. Kids are regrouping and re-rolling, and they have all new schemes, and they're better because they've been playing longer. But this Farmingdale team is very, very balanced. We're seeing a little something different from Farmingdale right now. We've got a new left guard in the game.
Yeah, so we'll try to ID him as we continue on here. There's the handoff. That's Theodate. He is that Robin to Kama's Batman.
And you talk about interesting play calling, and this is classic Coach Krumenaka. He ran right over the top of the new guy, which is something you think they wouldn't do.
Another handoff this time. Kama cut down. And it looks like he's just shy of that first down marker. Quality tackle in the open field.
We are now facing this direction down at the 20-yard line. That was huge, that play.
And apologies, I thought that was the down marker. It's actually the first down marker, so it's a 2nd and 10 for the Dalers. Handoff, end around, looks some trickery. Kama thought about throwing it, comes back the other way. He's got a lot of room to move, Kevin. Here comes Josh Kama up that Farmingdale sideline. From fake throw to big run, Josh Kama bringing it all out here tonight in Oceanside.
And here is another aspect of Josh. He can live in chaos if that's the way you want to play it. Look at this jet sweep. You've got to play him. You have no choice. Wants to throw it. It's really messy in there. And he lives the moment. You know what? Don't play the play that's called, play the play you got. And that's what he does.
How many yards sideline to sideline did he go before he went up the far side? Like, those are yards that won't count, right? But what a play by Josh Kama. 1st and 10 from the Oceanside 32-yard line. It's not quite the tush push that you have in the NFL, but those big offensive linemen helping pave the way for a quality first down run.
And you gave a shout out before to Jovens Theodot, and you know what? He is I mean, I'm not saying he's overshadowed by Josh. This is Josh's year, and he's playing very well. But you've got as his backup a 6'1", 195-pound kid.
Well, that's the joke with the Daler staff. They said if it wasn't for Josh Kama, you might be saying Theodate is right there among those great running backs in Farmingdale history.
Absolutely.
Ooh, nice inside handoff. There's Mateo Morales. Touchdown, Farmingdale.
Very interesting play right there. And I hope we can get to see that again. You've seen the play before a couple of times tonight. You saw the jet sweep, but right here, look at what Nick does. He fakes the jet sweep and gives it to the guy that's following him. Beautiful scheme on that play. That requires tremendous timing. All right, these extra points are critical.
So you saw there Morales going untouched for that touchdown. Had a really good first game against Syosset. Here's Mastrelli to hold. Damo's PAT is up, and it is good. So Farmingdale, they take another lead at 21-14. This is just game one of what is a busy weekend. Kevin Dolan, for not only you and I, but for the entire Varsity Media crew, will make the trip to Cary High School tomorrow for Conference 3, where it'll be Floral Park and Cary. That'll be an 11 o'clock kickoff, so bring your bagels and coffee. And if you are looking for the other type of football, that'll be here at Oceanside at 11:30, as Syosset, the defending county champs, taking on Oceanside right here. 11:30, both games on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Should be a fun one for us tomorrow, right? Conference 3, you heard.
Oh, the Sewanaka District Showdown. Those district games are interesting. You don't have a lot of that on the island.
You heard last week we did Clark against Southside, and Ernesto at Southside likens Conference 3 to the SEC in Nassau County. So deep, so many teams. You've got two reigning Long Island champions in the same conference. That is so rare, and neither won it in Conference 3 last year. It was Cary winning it in Conference 2. It was Wantagh winning it in Conference 4.
And you've got parity, as you said before, Dylan, going all the way down to the 9 and 10 seed. Very unusual.
This is returnable at the 19-yard line. And a short return at that, as both teams bringing it defensively on special teams here tonight.
Dylan, I just wanted to give a quick shout out to a gentleman that's up here with us, Mr. Dave Camlett. Dave Camlett is our official on the main clock. And Mr. Camlett has not only been a career outstanding teacher in the Lynbrook School District, he's been a member of the Officials Association for 53 years. And Dave is up here keeping the time, and he was a...
So here comes Oceanside now. 6:33 left, first half. They've got the ball at their own 32-yard line. We've said it was a contrast in styles, but both teams certainly don't lack the big play ability, do they? Harmon airs it out, comes this sideline, and that's the player of the first half for Oceanside. It goes in and out, though, of Jacob Stern's hands there.
That's another play. Look at this. That is another play. Beautiful, beautiful ball.
Stern has both Oceanside receiving touchdowns. Not both thrown by Harmon, though. Harmon did throw the second, and it was Nick Karenz who threw the first one.
This game is not really a game of opposites right now. And you know what's, I mean, it is a little bit, but you know what's doing it is the play of these lines. Both of these lines have come to play.
Harmon flushed out, throws it towards the Daler sideline. The coaches there want a flag because there was no receiver, they are saying at least, in that vicinity.
Huge block by Chase Morris. I'll tell you what, he had his hands full trying to block Josh Kama on that stunt. I think Chase is probably giving up about 60 pounds on that play, and he did a great job of getting his nose in there and giving his quarterback a chance.
So 3rd and 10 here for Oceanside, as the sun, which was so oppressive in that first quarter, has set here, and the lights are on at Oceanside High School. And some movement. It has, to this point, Kevin, been a pretty cleanly played game between both of these teams. We saw that one flag for the personal foul, and that was the first within the game, a false start against the offense.
And I'm not surprised, Dylan. You have two, suffice it to say, extremely squared away head coaches and staffs represented on this field. But it is early in the season, and it is a big game. You got to hand it to these kids, showing a lot of discipline out here. Even that late hit earlier, that was just a hustle mistake.
Harmon takes the high snap, goes over the middle, sliding to make the grab. That was Stern.
That was a very dangerous play. That's called a middle screen, where they use the slot receiver to come back inside on that empty set behind the defense. Getting towards the end of the quarter, the halftime. Coach Blount is starting to dig into the playbook just a little bit deeper.
And Harmon will again punt it away. Mills will let it roll, and it will be recovered at the 26-yard line. And Kevin, I'm sure you could start to be like I am, and you could start to smell a little bit. The food has arrived here, and we will have a terrific, I guess is it world famous? Certainly famous around Long Island, our J. Paul's Terrace Cafe food review. That's coming up here at halftime. You don't want to miss that one.
Well, I've officially suspended the diet that I'm so proud of, and I'm ready to go into halftime, my friend.
There we go. Of course, you want to hit that subscribe button you see at the top left of your screen, so you don't want to miss any of our Varsity Media sportscasts.
Big series right here. There's plenty of time for a long drive if that's the way it works out. There's also plenty of time for Oceanside to get a stop and try to tie this thing up. This is an important 5 minutes right now as to this game goes.
Well, you heard in our keys, Rob Blount had said, listen, if we need to limit their explosive plays, which also means let's make them go 13, 14 plays. Let's make them drive the ball down the field, because oftentimes in high school football, the more plays you have to run, sometimes things go wrong offensively. Maybe there's an offensive hold. Maybe your guys are out there for a while.
There's a lot of truth to that, but as a former offensive lineman, both in high school and in college, I'll tell you, you start going on those drives, the adrenaline and the endorphins just kick in, and you really don't feel the fatigue the way people would think. You actually feel like you're right in the middle of the action. Well, we got a real heavy set here. Look at this.
It's practically their goal line set as they want to push this ball. They want to move the chains. Toro, look out on the pressure. Smart play by Toro just to get out of pressure. He felt the grab on his shoulder, so he got rid of it for an incompletion.
You know what? Very smart play by Nick, because it worked out for him. He needs to be very careful with that kind of play, especially at this point in the game. That ball's a little bit higher, just a touch higher. And old number 6 is taking it back to the house.
So a 3rd and 9. The 309 in front of us and to our left, getting loud here, looking for a stop.
Excuse me, that was Chase Spear out there on the edge. You know, a little bit higher, and we're watching Chase's back go to the distance.
Toro hands off, and here's a trickery. It's Vidot around the outside.
Yes.
And Vidot didn't quite get to the edge. He cut it inside, and he's tackled at the 30 on a gain of 3. Friscari in on the tackle.
Great series by Oceanside. And, you know, they do something a little different here. They got fooled on that jet sweep. This time, you see the guys on the backside. Everybody's staying home. Everybody's hanging in there. There's Chase, and we got number 14, Brady Nardone, and they hold down the fort. Very well done by the Sailors.
Kama punts it away. It'll take a bounce and angle out of bounds at about the 25-yard line. So one thing we do know about Oceanside is they don't need a lot of plays to find the end. Really, neither of these teams do, right, Kevin? But they can get in the end zone in a hurry here, Oceanside.
And that was my point earlier about when we came into this game, Dylan, we had an expectation that we're seeing two distinct opposites. They're actually a lot more alike tonight. A lot of big plays, a lot of hard, solid play by two offensive lines, and great gang tackling.
Well, again, these teams combined for more than 100 points, 105 points last year, with Farmingdale scoring 63 of them in that Week 6 win.
Well, Dylan, my prediction is we're going to see Coach Blount and the Sailors really let it hang out in this series.
They hand off on first down, short carry there for Morris. You see Jack Waltrus, number 11, in on the tackle. And Colin Jones, the offensive coordinator, said it's still hard for me to believe that Waltrus is just a sophomore, right? So cerebral, another one of those do-it-all kind of guys. He said he reminds him a lot of Trevor Gayron.
Yeah.
As that Swiss Army knife, he can play multiple positions on both sides of the ball.
Oh, yeah, and we've seen him out here pressing receivers. We've seen him here putting pressure on the quarterback. He can do everything.
So a gain of 1 from Morris. High snap, and here comes Harmon following his blockers. And he'll gain a few there on first down, on second down. Which brings up a very manageable third down for Oceanside.
Third and short. Is this the time for a big play? Maybe that outside arrow route we saw earlier that missed just so nearly. Maybe come back to one of those counter plays or a jet sweep.
Well, Hudson Triscari, number 4, has just checked in. He's that backup tailback, plays a little bit of fullback as well. And we do have a flag here. Let's see what we got here, Kev. And they're going to decline the penalty.
So we should have fourth down right now. There we go.
So 4th and 5 from the 30-yard line. Harmon has done an excellent job punting the football. Gets another one off that will not be returned. Takes an Oceanside bounce. And it's finally downed at the 30-yard line of Farmingdale.
Oceanside's getting some great rolls on these quick kick situations, and it's preventing Farmingdale from putting somebody deep. With Chase doing the kicking, they cannot afford to take somebody out of the inside.
Another constant here at Oceanside. Seeing that Believe shirt, one of Rob Blount's boys. They have grown a lot over the years. And listen, Rob's been here for so long. We've seen his boys grow up, right, as well. And now they're in middle school.
There is nothing better than having your kids be part of this journey with the head coach, with your coach. I was lucky enough to be able to, not only was my son a ball boy, but he called the offense for me in the last couple of years of my career, and it's just such a joy.
And that's the great thing, I think, for Rob's wife, right? We don't need a babysitter.
Yes.
He'll be on the sideline with Coach.
That's for sure.
So let's see what we have here from Farmingdale here. Back to Kama, and look at Josh Kama. Change of direction, kicks it to the outside. Josh Kama, one defender to beat, forget about it. 70-yard touchdown for Josh Kama.
He must be covered in Crisco. How does he slip through that gap? That is incredible. Look at this change of speed right here.
Here it comes. Whoop. Cuts it to the outside.
And what a great job. What a great job by the kids of, you've got Jovens Theodat up there, not throwing a dangerous block that could draw a flag, being mature, escorting his brother right down the field. Outstanding.
Australia to hold. The kick is up and good. And Kama doing Josh Kama things here at Oceanside, as he did last year as well. Take a quick break. We'll have the final minute 50 of this first half when we return on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Are you a local business looking for new and creative ways to promote your company? Varsity Media offers affordable rates that can get your message across to a demographic of 18 to 54 years of age. Our follower base across social media is 75,000 strong, and our viewership numbers per game are in the thousands. Don't blow your advertising budget on old staples like TV and radio media. Reach out to Varsity Media to get the best bang for your buck.
And back here at Oceanside, Kevin, how about these numbers for Josh Kama? 10 carries, 236 yards, and 3 touchdowns.
You know, talking to Coach Krumenacker earlier in this week, he was saying he was downplaying the importance of the big play. I think Josh has put that concept of the big play back on the board.
And in terms of number of yards, he's actually at a better clip than he was last year when he rushed for 376 and 7 touchdowns in this game.
And the thing that's amazing is Oceanside's playing they're not playing badly here on defense. It's they're getting big played.
Good look at JJ Damo, future LIU face-off specialist. There's Parker on the return, not much of one there for Oceanside.
I was happy to see Dylan Parker not fair catch that short kick and take a shot. Not only did he get a couple of extra yards, but you know what? You're always opening the possibility that something big may happen on that return. I think Oceanside, this is not panic time at all, but I think Oceanside needs to start thinking that way. We've got to look at every possession as an opportunity to get on the board.
Yeah, minute 43 left, and he said for him plainly there is no better Farmingdale running back than Josh Kama that he's coaching. He even goes back even a few more years to Wall in his days, but what a performance we are seeing here at Oceanside.
You know, and I'm not disagreeing with Rob. It's a big, big statement when we say something like that. But I will say this about Josh. He's the biggest running back on this field tonight, and he's probably the biggest running back on every field this season.
And what else did Blount kind of joke with us on a call in? He said, just give him a Thorpe already. Like, why delay the situation? So here we go, minute 43 left. First and 10 from the Oceanside 35-yard line. The Sailors could really use one of those big plays right about now. Harmon hands off. Here comes Parker, breaks a tackle, gets out to midfield, loses his lid, He'll have to go to the sideline, but a quality run there by Parker.
Boy, that was so close, too, because Jack McCarthy, defensive tackle for Farmingdale, look at the penetration this young man gets. Presses, but this change of speed, lowering his pads, beautiful, beautiful play.
Dylan Parker, older brother Cole, played like Dylan Parker. He was a tailback. So they run in the Parker household. So fresh set of downs from midfield for Oceanside. In motion, Karenz. And here is some more trickery. Karenz back to Harmon. He goes deep. Jump ball. There is contact, but no flag is thrown, as it was Stern, the intended receiver.
Great idea. Great first down play. Take a look at this. You know, it's hard to ask kids to get that kind of distance on a play with so many exchanges. But really, really great job of trying to get your team back in this game.
And defensively, you saw there in the coverage, that was Aiden Squitieri, the junior, 5'6", 140, so he's on the smaller side, but probably that best tackler. He's kind of that classic, right, undersized football player who gets the job done.
Wonderful job by Aiden. Tough, tough young man. Wrestler.
You love those wrestlers.
Oh, yeah.
Handoff, here comes Parker again. Leapfrogs his way forward, and he'll push the chains inside of the 40. I like the way Parker runs.
Yes, look at that, man. Gets his feet up off the ground, accelerates through the hole.
High leg kicks, elbows flying everywhere. Here's Parker again.
They're doing it again. Why not?
Timeout called by Oceanside with 35 seconds remaining in the first half. Reminder again, stay tuned at halftime for the J. Paul's Terrace Cafe food review. You folks at home can't smell it, but we can. We've got some wings. We've also got some skirt steak tidbits as well, some waffle fries. Always one of the more popular parts of the Varsity Media Sportscast. As you see, a beautiful look there at the setting sun here.
Quite frankly, never been a steak tidbits guy, but that smell right now is calling me back there. I'm ready. I'm ready to ask Mr. Camlett to run the clock a little bit so I can get to the food.
We'll get to it. Don't worry. Don't worry. I know you're hungry.
Oh.
We got you, KD. So let's see what Rob Blount has dialed up here off the timeout. His QB coach was a terrific QB in his day, right? Eric Andurkovic.
Oh.
He's got Mike Vanucci as wide receivers quarterback, and Todd Goodwin with the D-line and the running backs as well.
All very knowledgeable, all highly experienced. So Oceanside's got one timeout left. I really think that Coach Blount is probably calling 2 plays right now. Unless they get a first down, he's probably got 2 plays coming off the sideline. 35 seconds is a lot of time, but it runs fast.
And don't forget, too, you've got a kid in Ryan Pender who's got the ability to nail a long field goal as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Rumor has it, and this is just a rumor, I have some sources, but the word on the street is kicked a 50-yarder against Garden City in a scrimmage. Here's Harmon, and that is complete to Harmon, or Halpin, excuse me, who gets himself out of bounds.
Huge play. Very, very aware of his situation getting out of bounds. Took 6 seconds off the clock, and they gained 15 yards. Outstanding.
And Kevin, to your point, what this does now is you can take a couple of shots at the end zone here. 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line.
Well, they got singled up coverage at the edges.
Here comes Harmon to his main receiving target, to Stern. That slant is good for 5 yards. And that timeout you mentioned will be taken now by Rob Blount.
You know, some of the coaches, Coach Blount may wake up at 2 in the. You bet.
Here you see
Look
it
at
again.
this. Beautiful job. Way to sell the run. He was either, he had a great angle too. He's either going to score or he's out of bounds. You kick yourself. You think about that timeout that you called early in the first half on that first possession. But you know what? You can't think that way. It was a great call. They had a drive going on. You want to start this game out with a score right away. They needed that timeout. They're going to be okay. And then to your point, Dylan, they don't get hurt with a field goal.
I see the 309 getting excited. They have been standing this entire time from well before kickoff. It is a hot ticket. Again, you needed a wristband to be one of those select 309 or more. I'm not counting, but it is packed in the student section here tonight.
Well, they either take a shot at the end zone, 2 shots at the end zone and kick it, or they run this. If they don't get it, clock the ball, send out your kicker.
So 2nd and 5 from the 25-yard line. Harmon, pressure comes, goes over the top to Parker, touchdown, Oceanside. Dylan Parker, who was so impressive on that drive, gets the touchdown reception. Much needed for the Sailors.
Big night for the 10th grader, Dylan. Check this out. Boy, did they sell that run play and front side drag. And that 10th grader was wide open. And for Shane, beautiful touch on the ball. Didn't do too much.
Bay Alexander is your long snapper. Chase Beer to hold. The PAT from Pender is good. Was 7 of 7 in week number 1, and he's perfect here again in week number 2. Kevin, let's take another look at Parker's 2nd touchdown of the season.
Watch all these guys on the Farmingdale defense running across the field opposite this play. Beautiful little flood pattern. Run the back out of the backfield. Just very, very well executed.
Well, not quite time to say strike up the band, but these guys are waiting for their opportunity. Part of what would be a terrific halftime here at Oceanside. This is also youth football night here at Oceanside, so you've got a lot of those East Rockaway Oceanside Raiders on the field, or on the sidelines, I should say. They were all part of that opening ceremony as well. Santino Puma, he wears number 30 for Oceanside, and JT Hatchmeister, number 73. Their dads, Mike and Joe, they are both directors for the East Rockaway Oceanside Raiders, which has become that kind of funnel program for the Oceanside high school teams.
God bless those men. Mr. Didio, all those guys that run the youth leagues, it's a thankless job. I mean, they won't say that because they're just too much a gentleman to say it, but I'm going to say it. You get a ton of complaints, you get a ton of confusion, you get a ton of aggravation, but at the end of the day, they're giving hundreds of kids, over time, thousands of kids, an opportunity to play this great game.
And Kevin, you know it, it's integral. If you're going to have a successful high school program, you need a feeder program, and that's what they have here in Oceanside.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
They have it in Farmingdale, they have it in Massapequa, they have it in Garden City, you know, all of the perennial powerhouses, if you will, right? You've got that.
Yep. You go to my basement, you see a big screen TV. You go to Mr. Didio's, you see about 140 helmets piled up in the corner.
And Pender, and that's a little bit of that, not trickery, we'll say, right? But
playing it safe.
A little chip shot from Pender ahead of the Ryder Cup coming up next weekend.
And you know what? With that kick, Dylan, it's not that they don't respect the kids they're kicking it to. It's that some of them are just not used to some of the some of the possession techniques, some of the big hits they're going to take, you might end up with a fumble.
So 7-point lead for Farmingdale, 7.5 seconds left. Probably a situation you'd say here, take a knee, let's go to halftime with a 7-point lead.
I would think, you know what? I think he's going to give it to Josh.
or
Why not?
You give it to the hot hands.
Yeah, give it to Josh. Let's see if he can squeak through a crack that only a mouse could get through.
That's not a bad option B.
Let the chips fall where they may.
So here we go. Maybe the last play of this first half. Toto in shotgun does what you say he should do. Gives it to Kama. Bounced it to the outside. Probably his shortest gain of this game. Got out to the 41-yard line. That's a 2-yard gain.
Interesting how Jacob Gould had a beautiful block there on the edge. And I don't think Josh was ready to see it as quickly as he did.
We almost have that Cal Stanford situation. We almost have the band on the field. And they'll put 2 seconds on the clock. So perhaps another opportunity, Kevin, as you said.
Yep.
For Josh Kama, 11 carries, 238 yards, and 3 touchdowns in a little less than one half of football.
You know, as tired as Josh may be right now, something tells me he's got 59 yards left in him for a halftime.
Handoff does, in fact, go to Kama. Comes to this sideline. Bursts up that sideline. Finally forced out of bounds. But that has been, certainly hasn't it, Kevin, the story of our first half. At least a big part of the story has been 2-1 in green and white. 12 carries for him now, just about 250 yards, and some electrifying touchdowns as well. It all started early in this game. Josh Kama checks the rear view, nobody coming his way. A long touchdown run for Kama. That is one. Here's another for Kama. A little juke to the outside. Field day, it's like, I'm just gonna watch you get into the end zone. That is 2 of his 3 first half touchdowns, and it is Farmingdale with a 28-21 lead. You're watching this Nassau Conference 1 showdown on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Since 1982, J. Paul's Terrace Cafe has proudly served the Oceanside community for 42 years. Open daily from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m., catch live music on the weekends, or place a bet on their OTB betting machines to wager on horse races. And we didn't even get to the menu. Every dish is a touchdown. From the popular steak tidbits to wings and a chicken parm, you can't go wrong. Great for lunch with friends and dinner with the family. Located at 239 Merrick Road, just minutes away from the Meadowbrook Parkway, reserve your table today at 516-536-1806.
It is halftime here at Oceanside, and the most anticipated portion of our broadcast is upon us. Again, Dylan Butler, Kevin Dolan here. And Kev, I pride myself on my preparation for these games, right? I have these charts, and I know all about every player, if their brother played here, what year their dad graduated, what year Rob Blount graduated from Lawrence. People don't care about that. When we come to any game, the first question I ask is, do you have a food review today? And you know what, Kevin? That answer is yes today.
Oh, we got a food review today.
We certainly do,
Oh,
and this is going to be amazing. We want to, of course, thank the great folks at J. Paul's. They're over at 239 Merrick Road. They've been a staple in this Oceanside community since 1982, a huge supporter of Oceanside high school athletic teams. They're open 7 days a week for lunch, dinner, and takeout. Sunday brunch, served every Sunday, 11 to 3. Monday, Half-priced apps from 5 to 10. Tuesday, 2-for-1 beers and wine, 3 to 7. Live music every day. Just a great spot for your Sunday football fix, featuring their Sunday Fun Day $10 menu at the bar. Check out the website, jpaulsoceanside.com.
Well, Dylan, you've set the table. I think we've got to make the next move.
Quite literally. So what we have here at our table, at our disposal here on the left, listen, football and wings, they go hand in hand, right? So
yeah.
We've got some of their famous honey hot wings here on the left. They also have their homemade blue cheese. They got some barbecue sauce here. We've got spicy waffle fries and everyone's favorite skirt steak tidbits. So where are we going to start here first?
You know what? I've never been a tidbits guy. Let's start at the tidbits, though.
Well, you know what? You start tidbits. I'm going to go wing.
Bet.
So remember, don't make the mistake that I made earlier and put the headset up when you start to eat.
You bet I don't want to eat my mouthpiece.
For the second half, right? So let's show it a little bit for the camera here, all right? Look at this. Big, juicy wing, right? How beautiful is that?
Look at that tidbit. A lot of density on this sandwich right
here. All right, you ready, my friends?
Oh, I'm ready.
All right, let's go. Unbelievable.
Dude, I have never been a tidbits guy. This is next level. This is outstanding.
Life altering.
Outstanding.
I mean, the meat on this wing, tremendous, right? This is their hot honey, right? So you get the great combination of the sweetness, the heat, a little bit, not too much heat, right? I don't want to be overpowered by heat. Fantastic. I mean, A+,
The
right?
flavor on this just continues to last and last and last. This is outstanding.
You know what? This is what we have here at halftime, but we can go after. I asked Rob Blount, we got a lot for the crew here, right? And I said, do you want us to save you some? He said, no, I'm going after the game. That is his spot. He's got that corner table over there, right? And
the best part about Varsity Media, we're having a victory dinner every game. We're always winning.
At halftime, even.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Tremendous stuff. Our buddy, Mike Hungerford, he's not here now. He's in San Diego. But we know he would approve this. So we're going to give a little Hungy thumbs up for this review. There it is, the Hungy thumbs up. And again, thanks so much for the folks at J. Paul's. Let's bring that graphic back up and remind the folks once again, it is J. Paul's Terrace Cafe, 239 Merrick Road. Whatever you order, you cannot go wrong.
Absolutely not. This was great. Get yourself to J. Paul's, my friends.
Second half coming up next on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Hey parents, coaches, and players. Ever wonder what makes Varsity Media stand out as the tri-state leader in sports live streaming and videography?
If you're looking to optimize your sporting event, look no further than Varsity Media's coverage. Since working with them over the course of the past 4 years through the Elite 5 New York City Football Showcase, their coverage has helped take us to the top.
Varsity Media does an unbelievable job in terms of the broadcast, backgrounds on kids, do a great job of exposure from top to bottom. I couldn't really say anything negative. It's been a great couple of years that we've been working together, and it's just fantastic.
Well, I'll tell you, the fact that you guys are here has helped grow it, really. I mean, Varsity Media has been a good partner with us now for the last couple of years. That brings this game to a much broader audience.
The level of detail and that you go to, I mean, obviously the announcers, the camera angles, the slow motions, I mean, you feel like it's being covered by, ESPN.
If you'd like to book with Varsity Media, reach out at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Now is a great time to book a sportscast with Varsity Media. What sets our sportscast apart isn't just the quality of our production, it's the knowledge, passion, and professionalism that our announcers bring to every game.
It's Merrill. Oh, look at a fake by Merrill. There's the spin again. Gary Merrill is not human. Touchdown, St. Anthony. Profeta! 1-0, Garden City.
Our commentators research athletes and highlight storylines that matter to your communities. Our approach creates a broadcast experience that not only informs, but elevates the athletes, giving the kind of recognition usually reserved for professional levels. Varsity Media's announcers make sure that every athlete has their moment. So book a Varsity Media Sportscast today, and let's get your team the recognition it deserves. You've seen the dedication, the long hours, the early mornings, the sacrifice. You know your athlete has what it takes, but how do you make sure the right people see it? The recruiting process isn't easy. Coaches are flooded with highlights, but how do you stand out in the crowd? At Varsity Media, we specialize in creating game-changing ISO videos, high-definition, athlete-focused footage that highlights exactly what college recruiters want to see. With our up-close ISO video, we capture your athletes' key moments. No more wide angles showing other players. This is just your athlete's pure, raw talent. This is more than a video. This is the opportunity your athlete deserves. Give your athlete the edge they need. Make the right impression with Varsity Media's ISO video service. The future starts now.
Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for upcoming schedules and content, and on social media at Varsity Media.
Parents, your support means everything to your athletes and to us at Varsity Media. To help us continue bringing you the best YouTube coverage of high school sports on Long Island, we invite business owners to consider a sponsorship on our broadcasts. If you own a business, consider a sponsorship for your athlete's team. It's a great way to show support, gain visibility, and keep the coverage going strong. Join us in making a difference. Contact Varsity Media today to learn more about broadcast sponsorship opportunities by emailing ben@varsitymedia.net.
back here at Oceanside, moments away from the start of the second half. Dylan Butler, Kevin Dolan, our entire Varsity Media crew, and Kev, we were entertained certainly in that first half. 28-21 the lead for Farmingdale, and for the Dalers, it was easy for us in the pregame to highlight number 21 in white, and Josh Kama more than lived up to the expectations with an outstanding first half.
Boy, talk about explosive power, Dylan. Explosive power, and he ends up being in situations where it looks like it's done. It's never done when Josh Kama has the ball.
That was touchdown number 1 to make it 7-0 for Farmingdale. That a 20-yard score. And this one, how about 60 yards to the house? Such a terrific combination, size, speed, physicality, athleticism. This, the juke to the outside. And this one, KD for 70 yards. So you add up those touchdowns, and you ultimately get to those numbers. And that is in one half of football for Josh Kama. 12 carries, 251, and 3 touchdowns. An incredible first half for one of the best running backs to ever play for Farmingdale.
And looking at Michael Galgano there on the sideline healing up, we got to go back to Nick Toto. You know, Oceanside was successful in putting him in situations where the pressure was on Nick. And that 10th grader, with all his athletic talent, answered the bell. And he really, really did a great job in that first half.
So, Kevin, you're here with us in the booth now, but for so many years, you've been in those halftime team talks. Take us maybe inside both of these, and maybe what's some of what was discussed at halftime.
Well, I think they're talking about maybe a different way to cover the empty formation. The empty formation is giving them a problem. It's not the most efficient formation to score on offense, but it is causing some bad mismatches for Farmingdale. If you're Oceanside, I got to tell you, this is 28-21. I think the Sailors are playing a heck of a ball game right now. And I think Rob's message to the Sailors, stay the course. Stay the course. Let's clean up a little bit of the tackling on defense in terms of Josh breaking those big chunk plays. But let's shore up the team tackling. Let's stay the course, and let's finish some of those big offensive plays.
Well, one thing is sure, we just had a close-up there of number 11 and gave the camera a thumbs up. So he is as cool as the other side of the pillow is Shane Harmon here, as the 309 is on our side. And it looks like it's a whiteout on the other side for Daler Nation, as they've made the trip here to Oceanside.
Great atmosphere here. And I said to you earlier, Dylan, that you feel like you're at a small to mid-sized college with not only the crowd, but the energy that's out here.
Both certainly terrific football communities, and the community here at Oceanside for their home opener has certainly showed up in huge numbers. This sideline, for as far as we can see, Kevin, absolutely packed. We've said the 309, and we knew they'd come, but the rest of the stands as well, it doesn't appear to be an empty seat.
No, there is. They are packed in here. I said earlier, you couldn't slip a dime between these 309 kids. They are packed in like sardines, and they're having a ball. And you know what? Their energy is making everybody around them have fun as well.
So Daler's ball to start quarter number 3. Farmingdale has that 7-point lead.
It's interesting how Coach Krumenacker has put some more skill hands kids up here on the front line. Maybe protect against some funky onside kick, or maybe somebody drills the ball.
And then Pender does send it deep, but it's returnable at the 10-yard line for Patrick Vidot. Comes up the near sideline, breaks a few tackles, and he's pulled down at about the 18-yard line. Bedeau, we saw in that first half, has that big game, or that big playability, certainly with his speed.
Great open field tackle by Jay.
Jacob Gould at the bottom of your screen. Gould at the bottom of your screen. The senior, part of a rotation, very similar to Cam Mestretti. You keep those legs churning. A first down carry for Farmingdale.
How does a young man that big slip through those cracks? I'll tell you, he's something.
Forced out, but a big run. Karenz had the shoulder check, if you will. But that same play, that went for 6 earlier with Morales, and this time the flip goes to Theodate.
Boy, you know, you got to appreciate, look at this. Look at the offensive line getting in the mix. Look, you got to appreciate the amount of time you have to put in on that play. So many moving parts.
So Theodate forced out at the 6. A first and goal for Farmingdale. A year ago, the Dalers, they went 9-2. They averaged 36 points per game. They only gave up 14. And Toto's got Kama and Theodate. Here is Kama angling towards the end zone. Touchdown number 4 for Josh Kama.
And look at the smoothness of him on this play. Like, he's in no rush. He's measuring his speed. He's running just as fast as he thinks he has to continue to increase the tackling angle. Right over here, you got Jake Gould is trying to get that tackling angle, and Josh just makes it too wide.
Another look from our field level as it's Kama getting into the end zone. Kunz is your long snapper, Mestrelli to hold. And J.J. Damo puts it through the uprights. So Farmingdale extends their lead, 35-21 over Oceanside. We take a look at what's coming up for Farmingdale in the next few weeks. This is a game certainly you circle, right, if you're the Dalers. And I know how you coaches say it's the next week and the next game, and it is, no doubt. But the other game that is either highlighted or circled or both certainly comes up in mid-October. Home for Massapequa, one of the greatest rivalries certainly on Long Island. The next chapter will be written on that Saturday afternoon.
The problem is for your kids is it's not that they're second guessing what those first 3 teams are. I think they know they've got a little bit more in the tank and they've got a little bit more in the depth chart than those 3 teams. But it's a distraction issue. And that ball out there sure has a way of bouncing very oddly. It could ruin your day.
And the last 3 meetings between Massapequa and Farmingdale have gone the way of the Chiefs. You go back 2 years ago, an overtime win on a 2-point conversion by Massapequa. So they went on the road and they get the win there. Last year at home, a convincing regular season win in that dramatic Nassau Conference 1 championship game where we saw Tyler Villalta throw his first and only touchdown pass of his career. An unbelievable moment there for Massapequa and another heartbreak for Farmingdale.
You know, the other side of this, you know, you could have a Farmingdale team coming into that game 5-0. A lot of kids are getting to play football.
And that's Parker again. We liked what we saw in the second portion or the latter portions of that first half from Dylan Parker.
He's tough. He's a tough kid. He's not a big bruising runner, but he can be that guy if you want him to be. I know we've been calling a lot of kids Swiss Army knives out here, and it's so true. So many of them play both ways and special teams and everything else. Parker's a special athlete. And you just saw that on that run back. Beautiful field position.
So one thing is certain from Oceanside, and especially with Shane Harmon leading the way, is it's not going to be nervous time, right? Shane Harmon's been through enough battles as a QB, a senior. He's been through enough adversity, battling back from injury. So he is as even-keeled as they come in these type of situations. 1st and 10 from the 36-yard line. He'll hand off, and that rush goes up the middle, just past the 40-yard line.
You talked about Shane being nervous. I guarantee you, Shane is more nervous at a Tuesday practice with Coach Blount than he is in this game.
That was Parker with another carry. A lot of different guys at Rob Blount's disposal, which is a good problem to have, right? You can go Chase Beer, Jacob Stern, Nick Carenz, Chase Morris, Dylan Parker. Or this man, Shane Harmon, who airs it out, finds a man, just in and out of Nick Carenz's hands.
Tell you, these kids are working their tails off, and you know it's the second time this has happened to them tonight. Big runaway play, just off the hands.
Carenz had a touchdown reception a week ago and a rushing score as well, part of Oceanside's 51-6 win at Uniondale in week 1. So a 3rd and 6 for the Sailors. Empty backfield for Harmon. Quick out, finds Stern, and Stern was so huge in that first half. He'll get the first down. He had a couple of touchdown receptions as well. A big home opener game here for number 22 in black.
Every chunk play is big for Oceanside, and as we were talking about before, this is not panic time for Oceanside. But that being said, they've got to get it done right now. They can't wait. Very different empty set right now. They have a tight end in an empty set. It's unusual.
Well, this might be a Shane Harmon opportunity to run. It's a quick out. This time down that far sideline, about 9 yards to number 9. That's Chase Beer. He's been on varsity since his sophomore year, and you mentioned the injuries last year. His season was cut short in week 2 with a knee injury. But when he was a sophomore, saw time in the playoffs, so a lot of experience for number 9.
Excellent point, too, about, with that tight end in the game, maybe running Chase a bit more. You're right. They can run that quarterback counter and the quarterback power. But what it also does is they have to cover the tight end, and it gives the quarterback, if he stays in, a little bit more pass protection.
2nd and 1 for Oceanside. Harmon ducks it under. He'll get the first down. Goes another angled run, and he's forced out at about the 30. First half, Kevin. This is something that wasn't part necessarily of Harmon's repertoire a year ago, but as a senior, and as we see so often with Oceanside quarterbacks, the opportunities, they expand as you get older, and now Harmon, as Blount called it, the training wheels are off. We're going to run with him a lot more this year.
And in no way do I mean to say that he's immature. What I'm saying is you grow up. As you get older, you grow up in the game, and he's starting to see the more potential that he has and the more possibilities.
The thing that Blount says is Harmon's greatest strength is his veteran leadership. What he does in practice and in games with his calls and the signals. He said, sometimes I forget some of the plays, but it is Harmon who remembers everything. 2nd and 10 for Oceanside.
Well, Coach Blount is very modest, but I will say that Coach Blount is an outstanding example of leadership for these young boys.
Good protection. That's a terrific ball, and there is Stern again. What a partnership, Kevin, these two have formed early in the season.
Boy, and that was the touch catch he wanted at the end of the second quarter. What a beautiful, great protection. And what a beautiful catch.
Harmon over the middle, and that is incomplete. Looking for Stern.
That's maturity right there. You know, that's a tight window, that pass. So he threw it. If Oceanside doesn't catch it, nobody catches it. Great move by Chase. And it helps. This O-line is giving him forever to throw the ball.
A second and 10 from the 15-yard line. Harmon comes this way and juggled and dropped by Krenz.
They've tried to throw that jailbreak screen a couple of times in this game. I'm not quite sure what Farmingdale's doing to disrupt this. I have a feeling it's penetration early. They just can't get that play to go. It's a great play, and it's a great Oceanside play. Just not happening right now.
End zone, touchdown. There's that man again, Jacob Stern.
That's happening right now. Look at this. Look at the protection that he gets. Great block by our center.
Look at the ball, too, that threw.
Wow.
There was only two possibilities there. It was either going to be incomplete or Stern was catching it. There was no chance of a interception. Such a great ball thrown by Harmon to Stern. What an evening for Jacob Stern.
Boy, Nick Greco and Benny Tchaikovsky are having great matchups with Mateo Morales. They're moving Mateo around a little bit, trying not to get anybody too comfortable with him. Chase has a lot of time to throw this ball.
PAT is up, and it's good. 35-28, the lead for Farmingdale. You're watching this Nassau Conference 1 showdown on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Parents, your support means everything to your athletes and to us at Varsity Media to help us keep on our broadcasts. If you own a business, consider a sponsorship for your athlete's team. It's a great way to show support, gain visibility, and keep the coverage going strong. Join us in making a difference. Contact Varsity Media today, to learn more about broadcast sponsorship opportunities by emailing ben@varsitymedia.net.
We are back here at Oceanside and some of the activity there on the sideline. I think some of those there are part of the East Rockaway Oceanside Raiders, part of the terrific feeder program for Rob Blount's Sailors of Oceanside. Dylan Butler, Kevin Dolan, our entire Varsity Media crew here for the home opener for Oceanside. And as we learned, Kevin, the rule is get here early.
Oh, yeah.
I think Chris Sweeney was here sometime around 11 this morning. I'm not exactly sure, but.
I got here at 20 after 4, and that parking lot was pretty full. We have a packed house here tonight.
Did you tell him you were with Varsity Media? Did you get the VIP spot?
Nobody can, especially the woman who wanted my spot.
I got a spot. Next time.
I'm with Dylan Butler.
That's it. That's a great kickoff. And that one right away, right? The officials say, no return on that one, as it'll be Farmingdale to start from their own 20-yard line. And a correction, I think that's the middle school football team on the field. They played Farmingdale earlier today They beat Lynbrook last week, and I think they play Farmingdale today.
It's great to see, you know, and you know what? God willing, Dylan, we'll be calling a game for those guys in 3 years.
A couple big boys over there, huh?
Yeah, we better get security down to the track. Get those guys some steak tidbits from John Paul's.
There's not much left here. And again, thank you again to J. Paul's Terrace Cafe. Some unbelievable eats here at halftime. So now the question for Oceanside defensively, Kevin. Can you stop the Dalers? Can you stop the Comma train?
I think we're at a point, and we need to get 2 or 3 hats on Josh every time he touches that ball.
And there you see Comma behind sophomore quarterback Nick Toto. Here he comes. Comma. And that is an excellent tackle laid down by Beer.
Once again, what a physical mismatch for Chase Beer. Tackling Josh Comma. That kid knows how to body tackle. Tough. Look at that.
So the rare no gain on a Josh Comma rush. So 2nd and 10 from the Farmingdale 20. You start to get loud a little bit on the stands below us. Toto fakes the handoff. There's that throw you mentioned. The option or the intended target was Cam Mastrelli.
And don't get me wrong, Dylan. I don't doubt that Nick Toto can throw the ball and do the things that he needs to do. But Oceanside hasn't seen that tonight. And you got to make Farmingdale. You're robbing Peter to pay Paul. And you can't stop it all.
Well, the time that you did see it, Kevin, it was to Fido for that big one over the top. So here we go, 3rd and 10 from the 20. We said, can Oceanside get a stop? Where they're a play away from doing just that. Here comes Toto to throw off his back foot, and that is incomplete. Theodate was the intended target, and good job again by Chase Beer. So a 3 and out for the Dalers.
Sprint out passes solve your problems with pass protection. They solve your problems with man-to-man coverage. The problem with sprint out passes, if you've got that quarterback, his hips, his feet, his shoulders, are, you know, he's got to be very, very disciplined to throw a great football. Not easy to do when somebody's chasing you down.
Well, Chase Beer made some terrific plays defensively. He's the lone man deep. High snap, Comma gets it off, just did. A fair catch is called at the 50 for Oceanside. Kevin, we showed you the upcoming schedule for Farmingdale. Let's take a look at what's up for Oceanside. And they'll take on a tough Port Washington team. That game at Massapequa, at Burner, under the lights. Always one of those as well that you circle. We'll have that game here on the Varsity Media Sports Network as well.
Boy, that schedule reminds me of an old school AAA Catholic League schedule. That's a slugfest right there. Hey, Oceanside's capable of winning every one of them, but that is a slugfest.
So football, as you know, so much about momentum, and it feels a little bit here, Kevin, like Oceanside has a chance to take that momentum here and potentially tie the score. They've got great field position. They've got a terrific partnership forming, at least, with Harmon and Stern. Let's see what they show here on 1st down. They're going to go wide. He'll gain a few yards on 1st down. And we're seeing, listen, Kevin, hot night, right?
Oh, I know. I'm getting old. Getting old.
A look there at the Oceanside huddle. And they are, in fact, hydrating there on the sideline. Rob Blount saying of his team, likes it a lot. They were 23 seniors, or there are 23 seniors on this team. 30 overall players returning from last year, about 8 to 10 players who were up as sophomores and freshmen, and they're now juniors and seniors. So to get an accurate read off of a comfortable win in week 1, but he's excited for the group that he has, and he was hoping that by the time we get to the colder late fall weather out at Hofstra, he's hoping that it's a group that can get the Sailors back to the championship. We mentioned before 2 county championships for Oceanside. Last one back in 2017, beating a Russ Sellen coached Freeport side 17-0. The previous county championship, that goes back to 1977 when it was the Conference 1-2 championship, a 3-0 win over Plain Edge. So with these players still down, we'll take a break and we'll have more third quarter action when we return here on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Welcome back to Oceanside. Still working on some players. We'll take a look at what we have coming up for you. Busy tomorrow early in the day for us. Kevin, get your hydration in now because we're going to be out in the box in the booth tomorrow at 11 a.m. It'll be Floral Park and Cary High School. And Cary, a year ago, undefeated, Long Island champions. That was in Conference 2. They're in Conference 3. Floral Park, a team that is perennially making their way to Hofstra. And then back here at Oceanside, the Sailors boys soccer team taking on the defending county champions in Syosset. That is at 11:30 kickoff there.
For those of you that don't know, the Floral Park and Cary are 2 of the 5 schools in the Sewanaka School District, and those inter-district games, they get very emotional. I'm really looking forward to a barn burner, and the Knights and the Seahawks right now are 2 of the better teams in that district.
Well, you know me, I do my homework. So you probably know this because you're a football guru, right? You're a historian.
That's the word.
Ronnie Pickett, the head coach at Floral Park, right? A Cary graduate.
Yep.
He got his coaching start as Mike Stanley's volunteer assistant in Mike Stanley's first season as Cary head coach.
Yeah, little Ronnie, that was back when he was only 6'5", and then he coached for me for 3 years.
That's right.
And what an inspirational guy. And you know what? In those small schools, and Floral Park is a very small school, it's not easy. You know, you're one player away from being in a lot of trouble. You got to be creative.
All right, so we're back to live action. It is 2nd and 6 from the 46. Harmon again over the middle. He's got his favorite target, Jacob Stern. Touchdown, Oceanside, and now he's feeling the cramps.
Oh, yeah. Dylan, this is turning into a track meet. Unbelievable. Look at this. That tight end is really helping out with the pass protection. And that's really the key. Chase has a lot of time to throw the ball. Outstanding job. Now, you know what? And I hate to put the mouth on anybody. You hope this doesn't become a war of attrition.
Well, unfortunately, how many times do we see these things become contagious, right?
Yes, yes. And it's interesting how it all happens about the same time. You got a load of kids working their tails off, and their energy levels are starting to drop. Lactic acid is building.
So Bay Alexander is your long snapper. Chase Beer to hold. And Pender, perfect again.
You know, I want to give a shout out to Bay. Those long snappers, not enough people talk about them. Extremely, extremely hard skill. And if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't be tied right now.
Another touchdown reception for 22 in black. Jacob Stern, and we told his story in the first half. You root for kids like that who missed his entire junior season. And what a first home game in a couple of years for Jacob Stern. That touchdown has now tied this game at 35. What a ball, too, by Shane Harmon.
Beautiful ball. Beautiful ball. Great job. Great finish. Now, I said earlier, I'm the last one that's going to second guess anybody, but seems that in that last series, Farmingdale started to get away from some things. We saw 2 sprint out passes. We saw an inside zone that was pulled on an RPO. I think I'm hearing those voices in my headsets again. I think it's time to get Josh back in the game.
So 4 touchdown receptions for Jacob Stern. 3 thrown by Shane Harmon, 1 thrown by Nick Karenz. And what an evening for the senior. And unfortunately, injuries were a big part of the story a year ago for these Sailors. As Pender to kick off for Oceanside. This one fumbled, and that's got to be picked up. Smart play there because it's a live football. So Theodate just falls on it after it went off the hands of Jacob Gould.
Very, very smart play by Jovens. You know what? Let's secure the ball. Let's get field position here. Let's do our thing. No drama.
No drama, but maybe plenty of comma here.
Yes.
He has been that X factor for Farmingdale. And you see the big boys up front. Good to see Petzold back in there, left guard. You see 74 McCarthy. They love to run behind those 2 guys.
Well, it's a run-set defense. They got an 8-man box.
And here comes Kama. Tries to cut it upfield. He gets knocked down by a few different Sailors. A gain of about 3 on first down for Kama.
Funny, I'm disappointed he gets 4 yards on that carry, you know.
Triscarian on the tackle. Rob Lown and his guys motioning to the crowd to get loud. Another handoff. Look at the change of direction, but a terrific tackle by Drac Grimaldi. He wasn't buying any of those fakes.
No. Assignment football. And you know what? We talked about that earlier, Dylan. This is Oceanside selling out on the run. If you're going to beat us, you're going to have to throw it.
So another 3 yards there. 3rd and 3 for the Dalers. Another handoff. And the Sailors will get a stop.
same side counterplay was the big play for Farmingdale for so long right now. And the Oceanside has figured out how to stop it.
Well, one thing you do, if you can, you throw big 78 Andrew Gaida in on him. 6'2", 250. Make sure when he wraps you up, you're wrapped up. You're not going anywhere.
He's going to make some college football player. He's just, you can just tell he's going to work out. It's going to take a season or two to learn. He's going to work out just fine.
So, another excellent punt. And not much of a return by Beer. But now here comes Oceanside. As Beer looked like he was potentially cramping up as well.
Unfortunately, Dylan, everybody's looking for Gatorade and pickle juice right now, but that bus has taken off about a day and a half ago. These boys, the cramp guys, are going to start feeling good about Monday or Tuesday. We need to dig into the bench just a little bit. And I'll tell you what, I think Oceanside's got them.
So right now, Stern is being stretched out on the sideline. 4 touchdown receptions for Jacob Stern. 35 apiece, 4:05 left in quarter number 3. Chase Morris gets into Farmingdale territory, and he'll move the chains.
And you can see that fatigue right now. You know, they're staying away from Finn. Finn had a double leg cramp earlier. You know, he's struggling right now against that nose. So they're keeping it on the edge.
Yeah, more of the same for Chase Morris. In week 1, 3 carries for 40 yards. But we do have a flag on the play. We haven't mentioned our white hat very often, have we? Tom Sheehan. There he is.
No.
And that'll be a defensive holding, I believe is the call, because...
No, it's going against the Sailors. We got caught up in our signals here a little bit.
So that will back up Oceanside.
They got the chains a little screwed up here. This should be 1st and 20 or 1st and 18.
Well, that's what the officials, I think, are going to discuss here and just get the chains right on the far side.
Problem they have is because of the contradictory signals, the chains moved. So now they got to figure out where they were.
Well, if this was a college game, maybe you've got a Varsity Media monitor down there or an iPad and you could check. Not the case.
Not the case.
High school. So the official have to huddle up.
And for those of you at home wondering, not allowed by state regulation. You can't go to video replay.
Harmon looks deep, looking for Karenz, and that was defended so well. You got to give a lot of credit there.
Sean Schumacher.
Sean Schumacher, yeah. Another look right in your living room. Look at this.
Look at that. What an effort by Sean.
Yeah, Schumacher stretched out. Bring up second down now for Oceanside. As has been the case through so much of this game, empty backfield for Harmon.
Well, I think we're going to see a quarterback run here. It's a little light in the box. Moving a linebacker out. Nope. Coach Dolan's wrong again.
That's a quick out and a drop by Beer. This game is certainly for the taking right now.
Big play here, Dylan. I'm not sure that this is 2 down territory.
Harmon tries to tuck it under.
Big sack.
That was huge. Give credit to big number 70, Aiden Thomas.
Wow.
He was in, and look, he does not let go.
He was on a mission right there. Outstanding job.
Huge sack for Aiden Thomas, one of the captains, a leader, a starting offensive lineman. And here comes Harmon again to punt. Nobody back there. And this time it'll go through the end zone for a touchback. Take a quick break here. 2:54 left in quarter number 3. We are tied at 35 in this Nassau Conference 1 showdown.
Are you a local business looking for new and creative ways to promote your company? Varsity Media offers affordable rates that can get your message across to a demographic of 18 to 54 years of age. Our follower base across social media is 75,000 strong, and our viewership numbers per game are in the thousands. Don't blow your advertising budget on old staples like TV and radio media. Reach out to Varsity Media to get the best bang for your buck.
Back here at Oceanside. Dylan Butler, Kevin Dolan, our entire Varsity Media crew here. Friday Night Lights in Nassau Conference 1. 35 all is your score. 2:54 left in quarter number 3.
2 parts of this game, Dylan, that haven't reared their head. 1, a big special teams play. 2, turnover. Let's see if the end of the 3rd and the 4th quarter that starts to creep into the mix. Guys are getting tired.
Handoff goes to Theodate, breaks a tackle, cuts inside. Jovens Theodate. Yeah, he too is a special running back. Korenz tries to catch him. No dice. 80 yards to the house for Jovens Theodate.
I could talk about this blocking all day, but look at this footwork. Wait for it. Wait for it. Now, watch this. Watch this. Oh, my goodness. That you're born with. Nobody taught him that. Outstanding piece of running right there.
And now you know why the Dailers coaching staff touts him, right?
Oh, yeah.
Kunz, the long snapper, Mistrelli to hold. And here is the PAT, and this is blocked. So you mentioned special teams, right? And what can happen here. And so many times those points loom large, don't they?
Holders, long snappers, missed block. Oh, boy. Let's see what happens here. I think it's just I don't know if it was a bad connection on the block with Mistrelli or he just mishit the ball. But that's unfortunate.
But Jovens Theodate, 80-yard touchdown. And look at it again from the end zone camera. Big hole, jumps through that, but then the rest, that was all him, Kevin.
Oh, look at that. Just incredible. There's not a lot of high school running backs that have that kind of footwork here on the island. And this is the backup.
Well, again, I don't know if you go, he's the 2. Farmingdale thinks he's the 1B to a very special
yes.
running back. But look at week 1. And again, it's hard to judge. Week 1, they also had a comfortable win. But Theodate, 4 carries, 119 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
That's a heck of a day.
Right? But he is that great counter to Kama, right? And a great blocker. And one of the things that you love about that combination is that they've both bought in to blocking for each other. So if it's not Theodate blocking for Kama, Kama is more than happy to block for Theodate. A terrific 1-2 punch at running back for the Dalers.
We keep going back to, we don't know who's going to win this game. I smashed the crystal ball a long time ago. But what makes Farmingdale great, you're seeing in this game, they can play it any way you want to. They don't have to be that driving team. They're making the big plays. They're doing a few different things on special teams. I think the majority of their touchdowns have all been on big plays, huge chunk plays.
Well, again, you go back to Kama, right? Touchdowns of Sports Network.
Now is a great time to book a sportscast with Varsity Media. What sets our sportscast apart isn't just the quality of our production, it's the knowledge, passion, and professionalism that our announcers bring to every game.
Merrill, oh, look at a fake by Merrill. There's the spin again. Gary Merrill is not human. Touchdown, St. Anthony. Profeta! 1-0, Garden City.
Our commentators research athletes and highlight storylines that matter to your communities. Our approach creates a broadcast experience that not only informs, but elevates the athletes, giving the kind of recognition usually reserved for professional levels. Varsity Media's announcers make sure that every athlete has their moment. So book a Varsity Media Sportscast today, and let's get your team the recognition it deserves.
Since 1982, J. Paul's Terrace Cafe has proudly served the Oceanside community for 42 years. Open daily from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m., catch live music on the weekends, or place a bet on their OTB betting machines to wager on horse races. And we didn't even get to the menu. Every dish is a touchdown. From the popular steak tidbits to wings and a chicken parm, you can't go wrong. Great for lunch with friends and dinner with the family. Located at 239 Merrick Road, just minutes away from the Meadowbrook Parkway, reserve your table today at 516-536-1806.
Back at Oceanside. Sailors hoping they can take the lead here. It's been a while since they've had a lead, Kevin.
Yeah. Very nice kick by Jeff Damo. We haven't really talked about Jeff much tonight. He doesn't have the range that Prender does, but he just took that field and he cut it. He cut it more than in half and trapped Oceanside on the sideline. Very, very nice job.
And what was important, too, from Damo, right, this comes after a missed PAT.
Yes.
So it's literally that next play mentality. And as a face-off specialist, that's always the case for him, right?
Yeah, always redeeming yourself. All right, is the tight end empty? Oh boy, nobody
comes our way. Here's Parker. Parker. Touchdown, Oceanside.
They didn't see him.
71-yard touchdown reception for Dylan Parker.
Look at this. They didn't see him. Nobody covered him. He did not sub in late. Came out to the numbers and bounced out there. Mistake right there. And here's your extra point, Dylan.
And Parker's like, anything you could do, I could do better. Right? He follows the Theodate long touchdown run with an even longer touchdown reception.
We cannot get out of this third quarter. That must be, I don't know how many points in this quarter.
So here comes Parker trying to give Oceanside the lead. And his kicks are essentially automatic. So that puts the Sailors now in front, 42-41, with 2:21 left in the third quarter. A year ago, these teams combined for 105 points. And it's starting to feel like we're on that same sort of run here today, as you see Parker up the sideline untouched. And it's Oceanside with a 42-41 lead. So that's 83.
You knew Oceanside had the potential to score in bunches. We knew that Farmingdale would use a lot of clock and go on drives. Who would have ever thought we'd have, with 2 minutes to go in the third, 83 combined points? Incredible.
The lesson learned here is take the over.
Take the over, yes.
Well, the capacity crowd on the home sidelines here have been certainly treated to a terrific home opener. As you see Rob Lounce, a great quarterback in his day, out at Lawrence, went on to play at Post.
I coached against them. Some of the better New Hyde Park teams I had in the early 2000s. Some of the great teams they had at Lawrence.
Oh.
We had some battles. I'll tell you what, played quarterback exactly the way he coaches. Ferocious, thinking all the time, competing all the time. Tough kid.
You had those great, all the Frederick boys running around.
Oh, yeah.
Not to after Blount, of course, but. And here you go. You called for it at some point. Hands team, though, for Farmingdale recovers that pooch. Looked like that was Waltrus to get it. Let's take a look again. Watch 11 in white.
Yeah, great play. Great play. I love how he entered the neutral zone. Try to encourage somebody to touch him before the ball got there. You know what? The guys who play those plays successfully, that's veteran football. Outstanding job.
So what has been, with all the cramping and the scoring, a marathon of a third quarter continues as Farmingdale now with the ball out at midfield.
Got to get my peppers.
Toto comes to this side. And that is Mateo Morales, it looks like, again.
Very smart play, you know.
Excuse
nice.
me, no, sorry, it was. I think it was 9, was it? Mills? Sorry, Kevin.
Great play call by Farmingdale. Nice, simple pass. Let's get Nick his confidence back. I don't know if he lost it or not. Let's let him feel good about completing a pass. And now it's his very manageable field position.
2nd and 2 for the Dalers. And a lot of.
I think that's going to go against the Sailors.
And you saw Theodate kind of motion out to the right, and that motion then signified. Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, big mistake right there for the Dalers.
False start on the offense.
Sometimes going on two, Dylan, it makes perfect sense in that situation. But if it's not what you do normally in practice and in game.
The defensive coordinator, Brian Ellis, a 2011 graduate of Oceanside, to make the call. 1:18 left here in quarter number 3. We'll take a break. It is Oceanside with a 42-41 lead.
You the best YouTube coverage of high school sports on Long Island. We invite business owners to consider a sponsorship on our broadcasts. If you own a business, consider a sponsorship for your athlete's team. It's a great way to show support, gain visibility, and keep the coverage going strong. Join us in making a difference. Contact Varsity Media today to learn more about broadcast sponsorship opportunities by emailing ben@varsitymedia.net.
Back at Oceanside, Dylan Butler, Kevin Dolan, our entire Varsity Media crew. Oceanside by 1. 1:18 left in the third quarter. The Sailors forced to call a timeout. Here's Kama. Cuts it to the outside, follows some blockers, and he is just short of that first down marker. Third and 2, they'll go quick. Kama again. Kama, first down and more. Kama gets into a different gear. Touchdown, Farmingdale.
I think Josh is in a position for a child abuse charge coming up pretty soon. This poor boy has run so much. How many yards is this kid up to at this point? Well over 300?
We'll get that after the quarter ends, but that is touchdown number 5.
He's just a hero out here. And he's doing it on defense as well. Now, we're going for 2, I assume.
Well, generally speaking, the problem with going for 2, and yes, they did miss that extra point, is then you're kind of chasing it the rest of the way. Like you've essentially said, now we're just going to continue to go for 2. If you don't make it, that is.
Yeah. Oh. Ooh. That hurts. That hurts. Even with Josh on your team, that hurts.
And it's actually against Oceanside, offside on the Sailors. So that moves now Farmingdale even closer to that end zone. Kama, yeah, you need 2. That's the guy to go to. So that missed PAT earlier, you pick up those points now, and it's the Dalers with a 49-42 lead. Another look.
Look at that push. Look at that great push. Right guard, right tackle. Aiden Thomas, what a block.
So 49-42 the lead for Farmingdale. There's still 45 seconds left in this third quarter.
You know, Dylan, no matter how this game ends, what these two teams have learned in this game, what they've had to do to stay in it, even some of the better players like Chase, like Josh, this is not typical. They've had to extend themselves. They've had to really reach into their gas tank. This is going to help them win games all the way down the road.
Well, Well, think about it, too, for Josh Kama, right? Last week, 5 total touchdowns, 271 yards, and 4 rushing scores. He also added that kick return touchdown as well. So now 5 rushing touchdowns today for Kama. A year ago in this matchup against Oceanside, which matched the single game high set initially by Jordan McClune.
Very interesting that Oceanside now has more skill guys on the front, almost like a hands team.
This one goes to that second level. And again, great special teams, right? The tackling has been excellent for both teams on specials.
26.
Well, that's Lucas Galvez.
Beautiful open field tackle by Lucas.
It has that feel, right, of team with the ball last wins.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Now, I don't see Josh Kama on the field, and maybe this, 1st and 10, they're on the other end of the field. Maybe this is their opportunity to let him recharge a little bit, stretch on the sideline.
I think especially with 41 seconds left in the quarter, right? You let him maybe sit for the rest of this quarter.
Yep, sit for the break between, which is another minute.
Quick out, that is complete for a gain of about 9. A tangle of bodies there, but Chase Beer with the reception.
Wilson Quintanilla limps out of the game. That's a big.
14 seconds left. And that's a rare drop by Stern, who has been awesome tonight.
You know what? I think there's some good news for the Dalers over there on that side. Looks like Wilson's dealing with his own calf cramp. Thought it might be an ankle or something.
And this one overthrown. Stern, the intended target. So a 4th and 1 now. And timeout by the Dalers will take it with them as well. 7.5 seconds left, quarter number 3. You're watching this Nassau Conference 1 showdown on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Now is a great time to book a sportscast with Varsity Media. What sets our sportscast apart isn't just the quality of our production, it's the knowledge, passion, and professionalism that our announcers bring to every game.
It's Merrill. Oh, look at a fake by Merrill. There's the spin again. Gary Merrill is not human. Touchdown, St. Anthony. Profeta! 1-0, Garden City.
Our commentators research athletes and highlight storylines that matter to your communities. Our approach creates a broadcast experience that not only informs, but elevates the athletes, giving the kind of recognition usually reserved for professional levels. Varsity Media's announcers make sure that every athlete has their moment. So book a Varsity Media Sportscast today, and let's get your team the recognition it deserves.
Back here at Oceanside, as you see the Dalers breaking the halftime, or excuse me, the timeout at the end, or near the end of the third quarter. It is a hot evening. It is a battle of attrition.
You know, Dylan, my apologies to the Dalers, too. That wasn't Wilson. That was Tom Duffy going over there to get his cramp taken care of. And like I said before, I was just glad that that's all it was. I was afraid it was an ankle.
So here we go, off the timeout.
Oof.
Coming towards this sideline, great stretch forward by Chase Morris to get the 4th down conversion. And that is the final play of quarter number 3. One thing is certain here, it is Josh Kama's world, Kevin. We are just living in it. Extraterrestrial stuff.
Strong, dynamic. What a player this young man is.
49-42 Dalers, end of 3 on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
For the latest news in high school sports, be sure to check out varsitymedia.net or follow us on social media at Varsity Media.
You've seen the dedication, the long hours, the early mornings, the sacrifice. You know your athlete has what it takes, but how do you make sure the right people see it? The recruiting process isn't easy. Coaches are flooded with highlights, but how do you stand out in the crowd? At Varsity Media, we specialize in creating game-changing ISO videos, high-definition, athlete-focused footage that highlights exactly what college recruiters want to see. With our up-close ISO video, we capture your athlete's key moments. No more wide angles showing other players. This is just your athlete's pure, raw talent. This is more than a video. This is the opportunity your athlete deserves. Give your athlete the edge they need. Make the right impression with Varsity Media's ISO video service. The future starts now.
Back at Oceanside, there's the hard-working cheerleaders. First play, 4th quarter. Another run for the Sailors. This one out to about the 45-yard line. Dylan Butler, Kevin Dolan, our entire Varsity Media crew, thank you so much for joining us here on a Friday. We are entering hour number 3 of this game. We go Wildcat again, and it is Karenz doing so. Shifty running by Nick Karenz to get the Oceanside 1st down.
Very important tackle by number 22, Sean Schumeyer. That was big right there because there was a lot more left in that play.
Karenz has a passing touchdown in the game. That was on the original trick play by Oceanside. As he's now on the 38-yard line, or Oceanside's on the 38 of the Dalers. Karenz back to pass this time. Looks for Parker. He's open. Tiptoes it along the sideline. A terrific catch by Dylan Parker.
Beautiful touch on this ball.
And again, Karenz, a former quarterback. So you're comfortable with him throwing that kind of ball.
Beautiful touch. Great job again. The pass blocking all night has been outstanding. You know, Farmingdale is not a big blitzing team. It's not what they do. But they have some dynamic kids up there in the front, and they're not getting to the quarterback.
We go Wildcat again. And this time a big tackle by Mills. Mills such a good story, too. Never played football before. He is a baseball recruit, was an all-county volleyball player. So tremendous learning curve day by day and week by week. But Mills just continues to get better. 3 tackles in his first varsity game a week ago. And now Oceanside kind of taking a page out of the Farmingdale book. Chase Morris carrying the ball for a Oceanside first down. You mentioned the guys up front. We mentioned them before. We'll get to that in a second as Oceanside looks to go quickly. And this one inside the 8. Late flag is thrown, but you've got Nick Greco as a left tackle, Jack Grimaldi at left guard, Finn Rumini at center, Andrew Gaida right guard, and Benny Tchaikovsky at right tackle. And this is a face mask against the Dalers, so tack this on at the end of the run.
All of those guys, Dylan, working as one unit all night long. They've been doing an outstanding job, and they're hurting right now.
And then you sprinkle in Jason Halpern, number 88, who's done a great job blocking as a tight end. So first and goal. Blocker is up front, diving towards the end zone. Touchdown, Oceanside. Morris.
Look at the push. Look at the surfaces these guys get. But you know, at the end, it's all about that leg drive on that running back. All about the effort and the desire to get into the end zone.
See Halpern with a pancake block there.
Yeah.
And now it's Oceanside going for 2. How about this decision? And they get in. Morris, all 8 points for the junior. And it's now the Sailors up by 1.
99 points.
So the pendulum swings now. It's Oceanside by 1. But you like the aggression at home. Blount.
The energy that's coming from the bleachers, and you know what? Nobody should kid themselves. This fan support, and nobody has left this game. This fan support is driving this team. It's just outstanding. Plus, you got all the little guys over here on the track.
Well, so much of that energy is also driven by Blount, who is all energy all the time.
Yes, he is.
There you see the head coach making sure, right? How many hats we have? What a game we've been treated to here in week number 2. We had the feeling, certainly, this one had the potential of being a special one, and man, has it lived up to that.
You know, earlier, Dylan, I said this was a Conference 1 blockbuster. Wasn't exactly sure that that was going to be true. That's exactly what this turned out to be.
Let's see where this one is placed by Pender. This is driven, bobbled momentarily at the 5-yard line. That's a massive block upfield. Trying to stretch out. Some late physicality. That was Tice McClune with the return. Tice McClune, by the way, the younger brother of Jordan McClune.
Great genetics, all in the family.
So let's see what the Dalers have now as a response. As you mentioned, Kama rested on defense. His numbers right now, ridiculous. 20 carries for for 327 yards and 5 touchdowns.
I don't know if that rest cost them a touchdown, but they're going to see the benefits of that rest coming up.
Kama has almost matched his numbers from a year ago. Here he comes again. Kama turns the corner. Good tackling by the Sailors as about a gain of 3. A year ago, Kama rushed for 376 yards and 7 touchdowns in this game. That was on 21 carries.
You know, I got to remember what I'm here for. I'm getting caught up in this game right now. This is absolutely incredible. And there's a lot of chess going on with these coaches right now. A lot of funky formations. Farmingdale putting a lot of bodies into the boundary.
And you see not much there for Theodate. Maybe a yard there.
One of the guys that's really causing Farmingdale a lot of trouble right now is Andrew Guida. Andrew Guida is either on the ball or he's compressing the line of scrimmage, causing them a lot of trouble. Open formation from Farmingdale.
Toto, excellent time in and out of Kama's hands. So the 309 is excited as it looks like Farmingdale will go 3 and out here. Again, Kama is your punter. And that punt will get fielded by Galvez. Now here comes Oceanside.
All right, and I would put no money on this. What does Oceanside do? Do they continue to press, look for a big play here or there, or do they start draining this clock? My instincts tell me Oceanside's going to look to go in the end zone again.
Well, the fact that you put so many options out there, I think, speaks to the strength of Oceanside, right?
Yeah.
Multi-dimensional in what they can do and the choices they have here.
I think that tight end empty set is something that the Dalers tonight have been very uncomfortable with in terms of matchups.
Wildcat again. Oh, that's a terrific tackle. I'll get you a number there in a moment. I think it was again. Is that Mills?
I think that's Mills. That's Ive Mills coming in from the edge.
Making up for lost time here, huh, Mills? As we go quickly, Oceanside. And this always felt like, I mean, look, there are superstars in this game, Kevin, and again, it sounds simplistic to break it down to this, but this was a game where it was going to be the guys in the line, right? With so much experience for both teams. So it was going to be who can impose their will on the other up front.
And it turned out that way. And again, these boys, all credit to both sides of the ball. They're hurting these guys right now. You know, they're searching for that energy. You know, they just got to keep it going for another 6 minutes and 30 seconds.
So first down for Oceanside. And they will utilize a good chunk of that play clock. As the clock down to 6:10. Wildcat again. And again, nowhere to go. Waltrus, 11, it looked like was in on the tackle from behind on that short game by Morris.
Coach Blount doing a great job of bleeding this play clock.
Morris up the middle, finally tripped up just outside the 40. And actually, they'll say that he was down even before that.
Yeah.
So not necessarily going conservative, but certainly utilizing the clock. About 2 minutes has elapsed between these few different plays for Oceanside.
Now, Oceanside gets this first down if they do.
Karenz, great tackle.
Tackle. Who is that?
You give the credit to 7-4. How about it, Jack McCarthy?
What a huge play by Jack.
Let's take a look again.
Flag is down. See Jack come right off that block. Great job. This is a big penalty right here, Dylan. It's in that hold area, but we don't know.
And they will pick it up. So 4th down now. Harmon back in. And Harmon has done a terrific job tonight as well in the punting game. Inside of 4 minutes. Harmon will go, tries to tuck it under, look out. Right into the teeth of the defense. And McCarthy says, you're not running at me. Oh. Theodate was there as well. But a turnover on downs now will set up Farmingdale at 1st and 10 from their own 45.
They've got 3 timeouts.
And 3:40 remaining on the game clock.
And time is not something you can leave Oceanside with. Oceanside has 2 timeouts. They may have to think under a minute and a half, possibly using them.
Gould at the bottom of your screen. Kama the lone back. Handoff goes his way, reverses course, comes back this way. Josh Kama up the sideline, cuts it inside. Josh Kama, touchdown, Farmingdale. Are you serious?
Absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible, this young man. 6 touchdowns tonight? Is that what we're tallying? Goodness gracious.
unbelievable.
Really well done. Well, Dylan, I assume we got to go for 2 here. Like you said, we're back in that. We're chasing our tail here with the 2-point conversion.
Well, I think the 2 that Oceanside went for now forces your hands.
Yep.
So here we go. Faked handoff. Toto. Touchdown, or 2-point conversion, excuse me, to Theodate. And it's a 7-point lead for the Dalers.
You know, we've been talking so much about Chase tonight, and I mean Shane, and rightfully so. Shane has had an incredible night. But this young kid from Farmingdale, this 10th grader, what he's doing is incredible. And I know he's good, and I know he's an athlete, and I know all that stuff. But he's 15 years old playing in this atmosphere, and his attention to this game has been incredible.
So just got word, updated stats for Josh Kama. 22 carries for 385 yards and 6 touchdowns. And again, it does bear repeating. Last year, rushed for 376 yards against Oceanside and 7 touchdowns. That was on 21 carries.
As good as these are, no chicken wings for him on the way home. I think we need to get him plenty of water, Gatorade, stretch out those legs and put him to bed.
Dude, he plays the way he does. He can have whatever he wants. I'm not sure how welcome he'll be at J. Paul's, but there's plenty of establishments on Main Street in Farmingdale. That is for sure.
That is for sure.
Well, you mentioned before another bit of brilliance from Kama about leaving time on the clock, and they certainly did do that. Yeah. So still 3:21 left here for Oceanside, down by 7.
There's no upside to leaving Rob Blount and the Sailors extra time on the clock. I mean, but that's not a complaint. I mean, you got to take it as it comes.
And now there's more points scored tonight than last year. Last year was a combined 105.
Really?
Yes, sir. I mean, granted, 63 of them were scored by the Dalers, but Harmon, ooh, that was nearly caught by Beer.
Ooh. That was some effort by.
Yeah, he had a twist. It looked like there was no chance, and just with his athleticism, made it a chance. Another look. And then for all that effort, gets pushed down to the turf by Schumacher.
Okay, right now is when they need Mateo. They need a sack, some magic.
Well, Kama back in at middle linebacker. Here comes Harmon. Over the middle. Interception. What a play by Mills. Just the beginning of his high school football career. And Mills, a massive interception. And now his fans on the other side love what they see by the baseball recruit. He essentially, Kevin, was playing center field.
Yeah, he just kept dropping and dropping and dropping. And you know what? I understand how he feels. He's saying, I'm not getting beat deep.
And now this game squarely, still 3:02 left.
Still some time.
100%.
Still some time.
But a huge chance here for the Dalers.
The way I look at it, Dylan, and calculate it, Farmingdale's going to need two first downs.
Or maybe a 53-yard touchdown run.
That always helps.
Josh Kama.
But that'll never happen. I mean, when does that happen, you know?
Seemingly every other play. And also in a clean game, as it is Kama now, pushing forward. Did he actually do it? Pushes, gets in. Yeah, just as we said.
Yep.
He needed a 53-yard touchdown, and he gets just that.
There's no shame in this. You know what? I think the Sailors are just tired right now. You know, it's been a long night. It's been a hot night. They have put in some battle.
Well, he matches his touchdowns from a year ago against Oceanside, 7. He eclipses his rushing total. He's now at 23 for 438 yards and 7 touchdowns. Farmingdale will go for 1, and the Damo kick is up, and it is good. Take a break here. 2:48 remaining in this one. The Dalers have opened up a 14-point lead. You're watching it all right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Hey parents, coaches, and players. Ever wonder what makes Varsity Media stand out as the tri-state leader in sports live streaming and videography?
If you're looking to optimize your sporting event, look no further than Varsity Media's coverage. Since working with them over the course of the past 4 years through the Elite 5 New York City Football Showcase, their coverage has helped take us to the top.
Varsity Media does an unbelievable job in terms of the broadcast, backgrounds on kids, do a great job of exposure from top to bottom. I couldn't really say anything negative. It's been a great couple of years that we've been working together, and it's just fantastic.
Well, I'll tell you, the fact that you guys are here has helped grow it, really. I mean, Varsity Media has been a good partner with us now for the last couple of years. That brings this game to a much broader audience.
The level of detail and that you go to, I mean, obviously the announcers, the camera angles, the slow motions, I mean, you feel like it's being covered by, ESPN.
If you'd like to book with Varsity Media, reach out at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Back at Oceanside, and there's a nice look at number 21 for Farmingdale, wearing that Superman's cape today, Josh Kama. And I'll tell you, Rob Blount will be the first to say, we wish you well. We can't wait for you to graduate. Maybe there'll be a graduation present. Maybe some J. Paul's wings. I don't know, but.
Dylan, I've been around a lot of great running backs, but I've never seen a performance like this in one game.
Well, again, you thought you saw something that you wouldn't see again last year, and it's eclipsed this year. Now, it's the same amount of touchdowns, but the yards even more tonight. I don't think we'll see another touchdown from him tonight. I think he'll be done. But he is now, again, matched the Farmingdale single game high in touchdowns that he tied last year that McClune had set. We showed you that Mount Rushmore, man. He's earned that spot.
The other part of this is a quality defense. These kids, they know how to play. They know how to fill. They know how to match up. Well coached. It's just turned out to be a track meet, and it's gone both ways.
Yeah, you can't forget on the other side, right?
50 points.
Jacob Stern doing a terrific job, and Dylan Parker doing his thing. That's Chase Beer on the out. Important tackle there by Vidot to keep Beer in bounds. But sometimes, Kevin, you tip your cap, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and the important thing for this game now is you learn from it. Oh, mama.
Harmon goes long and unable to find DiDio, his intended target.
You learn from it, everybody heals up, you get back to the drawing board, and that's always the way it goes.
Again, this is all-time game number 41 between these two teams. Farmingdale will have a 31-10 lead. Will we potentially see a round two, maybe at Hofstra?
It'll be a 7-6 game, one going one way or the other.
I can guarantee you it will not. These two are not capable of that. Kama bringing it defensively there on the tackle as a got to move the chains and stop the clock, at least momentarily. But as we said in the open, which I think was about 5 hours ago, but this is one of those games that you do circle. Long throw attempt for Karen's incomplete, but look, we know it's a top-heavy conference. These two teams and Massapequa,
yeah,
right? So it's a matter of sort of jockeying for position, and it's these kind of big games, right? When Oceanside plays Massapequa, it'll be big. When Farmingdale plays Massapequa, it'll be big. Those games determine so much in terms of the pecking order for the playoffs.
And that's what puts the value on those games at the lower end of the schedule. That could crush you. If you have a hiccup, if you don't play well, all those little things that happen in sports.
Harmon looked like he had a lot of time, but suddenly he did not. Good pressure there applied. Got to give credit there to Michael Bolello. And Bolello was fighting for a starting position on that D-line, an excellent lacrosse player for Farmingdale as well. Here is Harmon. Ooh. That's a nice looking pass.
Beautiful pass and a great catch.
I think it was Beer on the far sideline.
Sailors refuse to go away.
Coming into this season, Farmingdale the number 1 seed, Massapequa the 2, Oceanside the 3. Stern in motion. That one knocked down. It was Kama again.
Looking for something to do.
Here's Harmon off the run. Another nice looking pass.
Yes.
And this time it was Stern And that's a partnership that you look to continue going forward.
And that was my point earlier, Dylan. Once you get past the loss of the game, one of these teams is going to lose. You look at it more objectively, they've gotten tremendously better this game. You know, they've been through there's no replacement for going through the war.
Harmon chased down by Kama. Oof, that's another unbelievable pass. It looked like it was Beer with the reception.
Beautiful pass, gorgeous catch.
By the way, I did a little bit of math. If you count last year's game performance by Kama and this year's game, in the 2 games, he's rushed for 814 yards and 14 touchdowns. You think he likes playing against Oceanside? Harmon airs it out, and we will have a pass interference penalty here. As the Dio, the intended target,
Now, strangely enough, I don't think Oceanside has used one of their 2 timeouts that are left. I think they still have both of them. They can punch one in this end zone. Get an onside kick. You got 2 timeouts. I mean, that's a lot of ifs.
I take a breath from all of your ifs, and I look and see we're 3.5 hours into this one.
I was going to say you, me, and the kids get home about 1 in the morning, you know?
I still got to finish my charts for carry for tomorrow's game. This has got like a Cardinal Hayes St. Anthony's length to it. And you see the conversation here with Blount and Tom Sheehan. Did they pick up the flag? And
it looks like it. Looks like they've waved it. Waved 2 flags in this half, a holding and a pass interference.
Well, Blount certainly disagreeing with the decision. Harmon. And that one, another flag. Schumacher looked to have clipped the intended target. And this is called pass interference against the Dalers.
Pass interference against Farmingdale.
We invite you to stick around post-game. I think we should hear some words. Should Farmingdale hold on to this one from Josh Kama, who, knowing Kama, will no doubt thank his line and the blockers.
It's just a classy kid.
Harmon over the middle.
Oh, wow.
Touchdown for Oceanside. Dio gets the touchdown. And I will say this. The way that Parker can put the ball wherever he wants, an onside kick is increasingly dangerous for Oceanside.
With 2 timeouts.
Excuse me, but Pender, it's a long night here in Oceanside, but Pender can put it wherever he wants.
The downside for Oceanside is with 2 timeouts, I don't think they have a choice but the onside kick.
And Pender's PAT is good. So 64-57. So let's see. Kevin, you get a successful onside kick by Pender. And all bets are off then.
All bets are off. All bets are off. Coach Blount will give us all heart attacks by going for 2, and then we might just shut off the lights and find out what happened in the morning.
Let's get there. Let's get this part of it situated first. And on that opposite sideline, when they break the huddle, we'll show you some of those guys up front. It will no doubt be all hands team. Buddy Krummenacher has been doing this long enough.
For those of you who don't know at home, you're going to be watching this onside kick. The 50-yard line's the key. Nobody can touch a return team player until that ball crosses the 50-yard line. Now, if a return team player, a Farmingdale kid, crosses the 50-yard line to catch it short, he's completely protected until the ball hits him. It's a very difficult thing to officiate, and this could get dicey.
All right, so Farmingdale has broken their huddle. See Watrous, he'll be right in the middle. He did field that other one.
Yep.
I think Bolello is up front too.
Yep, and we're seeing, Bolello again, even though he's wearing a big number. He's an athlete. Oh, I think they got this covered, Coach.
Galvez, 26. Theodate, 6. He's got to go 10 yards. Pender, a magician with the ball. That makes the 10 yards, but it just goes out of bounds. Parker was right there.
Wow.
And that's what we say about Pender.
Wow.
He's got that ability to put the ball wherever another look.
They caught Farmingdale in their own scheme and just missed it. What? Guys.
One bounce away.
I mean, I'm surrounded by Oceanside guys up here. Boys, what a game. What a game. Incredible game.
So Farmingdale will have the ball, minute 1, 64-57 lead.
They are going to have to run a play, probably 2 plays.
Well, again, Kama's numbers in this game, 23 carries, 438 yards, and 7 touchdowns. The 7 touchdowns ties a Farmingdale record for TDs in a game.
There he is, right in their game. Theo Dad is in this game. Got all the gang, Coach.
And there goes Kama pushing forward, forcing one of the 2 timeouts to be called by Blount. That was a gain of 2.
Okay. Oceanside has one more timeout. Let's see, that brings it down to 50. You know what? I think we may need this first down.
And at this rate, Kevin, I think you and I might need to, and Chris Sweeney as well, might have to drive directly to Cary at this rate.
Yeah, we'll get it. I know
tomorrow morning's game.
I know some great places in Franklin Square for cappuccino. Bolt us up a little bit.
So here we go off of that gain of 2 by Kama. It is Kama again, lowers the shoulder, pushes himself forward, and now Blount will call timeout again.
All right, that's the last timeout.
No gain on that play. If you're wondering, maybe at a yards per carry for Kama in this game, 17.6.
Averaging a first down on every carry.
Almost 2.
Incredible.
If he can get one more, that'll seal this game. Kama again. He gets the push from the boys up front.
Oh my goodness.
Somehow eluded all of that. Unbelievable. And look at that. What a play. What a heads-up play by Kama.
Mr. Unselfish. There's another feather in his cap.
He could have broken a Farmingdale school record with his 8th touchdown, and he dances out at the 1 so they can put their knee down for the final play.
Now there's his Thorpe Award, Dylan, right there, on that act alone. Well, the other yards as well.
And that's that other part of his game, right? We saw the vision, we saw the speed, the elusiveness, his shiftability, if that's even a word, but now we see the mental makeup as well, the football IQ. Kama could have padded his stats. He could have set a school record for touchdowns. What a performance. Josh Kama ends with 26 carries for 495 yards, 7 touchdowns as Farmingdale in the first big Nassau Conference 1 game of the year. They win this one 64 to 57.
Join us next Saturday, September 27th, for the homecoming game against Fort Washington.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable is right. And there were a number of heroes on both teams tonight that put in exemplary performances. This was a pleasure to watch.
And how great was that too? Making sure that he shakes some of the young bucks' hands as well, right, on the line. And we'll get Josh Kama, I think, down on the field now. He joins our Ben Turchin for our post-game interview.
All right, thank you, guys. I'm here with the player of the game by far, and maybe the game of the century. Josh Kama, congratulations. 26 carries, 495 yards, which is a Nassau County all-time record. How did you do it today?
I really don't know. I just really trusted my own line. just took it from there. Great. It's really that simple.
By the way, when you combine your game tonight and the game last year against Oceanside, you have over 800 yards, close to 900, and 14 touchdowns. You had 7 today. That production is incredible.
Thank you. I know. I really don't know how I do it. I really got to give it to my old lineman and my fullback and my tight end. They really make all the magic happen.
Should we put you in for the Thorpe Award right now? Like, did you lock it up tonight?
I hope so. I think I did.
Nassau County, I think you heard it here first. Josh Kama, probably the Thorpe Award winner. This performance was incredible. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Send it back up to Dylan.
Congratulations to Josh Kama. Thanks so much, Ben. And unbelievable, right? We're in the words business and trying to describe things and paint a picture, and at times you don't have words for what we just saw out of Josh Kama.
And sometimes, Dylan, I'm thinking about my own job tonight. Like I was repeating myself because you had to. You had to, because the things these kids were doing, the things Josh was doing was absolutely incredible.
See, Rob Blount's like, listen, can we be done with you now? Or can we stop running touchdowns against us? What a performance by a tremendous player and person.
Yes.
Josh Kama. So that should do it here from Oceanside. It is Farmingdale with the 64-57 win. Want to remind everybody for tomorrow, in a matter of a few hours, it'll be Borough Park in Cary at 11 a.m. out at Cary High School. Myself, Kevin Dolan, on the call for that. And then if soccer is more your speed, especially if you're an Oceanside fan, we'll have Oceanside and Syosset coming up at 11:30. And now that'll do it for us. For our executive producer and sideline reporter, Ben Turchin, for Chris Sweeney, our terrific technical director, Ron Pierre, the birthday boy, unable to join us, but big thanks to Kevin Catalanato and Tyler Stazak working the sideline here tonight. My broadcast partner, Kevin Dolan, Dylan Butler, thanking you for joining us from Oceanside High School. We look forward to seeing you next time right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.